Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Hail Trace meteorologist Martin Lattimore here. We are looking at hopefully what is looking to be the last really active weather day in a row that we've been having for what is it, day 7 now? Yeah, so it's been a very active one for a lot of us here in the Southern Plains. You've also had storms in the Midwest and even across the Ohio and Mississippi River Valley. So we're obviously looking at Dallas. We had a moderate risk issued for your Dallas Metro, the entire DFW area. In fact, really seeing a lot of the highest chance of seeing hail. They've given that 4 out of 5 according to the Storm Prediction Center. Second highest level that they can give for hail. Actually, technically it's the highest level they can give for hail, but you can have that high risk for tornadoes and wind. So breaking down what's going on as of this point in time, what you're seeing below you, that is I-30. This is on the west side of the DFW. We're kind of just keeping a constant eye on these storms. This is pointed westward. So we're going to just leave that camera down there, and we're going to be talking about storms while we watch that camera, and hopefully we can see some claps of lightning pretty soon. All right, so obviously, big one is going to be Dallas. We've got 2 severe thunderstorms making their way towards there. They have slowed down. I don't want them to slow down again. We can't do another of what we had Saturday with these storms moving 5 miles an hour through Dallas, Fort Worth. But they are warned for, this one's warned for about golf ball sized hail and then just a little bit larger than golf ball sized hail to the south. So we have 2 individual little cells here. Not expecting a big tornado threat today. It's actually pretty low. We're not seeing a good amount of shear in the environment to really support tornadic development. But hail, there's nothing really stopping that. We have plenty of updraft to give us plenty of those large hailstones, as we've already seen in both northwest Arkansas and also into Springfield, Missouri. They got hit twice, by the way. Luckily, the last storm was a little bit lesser, but we had a report of a 4-inch hailstone in Springfield, Missouri today from the National Weather Service, actually in Springfield. The employees themselves went outside and found a 4-inch hailstone. They said it happened about a half hour after the hail had finished falling. So there's a chance it could have been bigger. So again, it's been a very active day across not just the DFW area, but a lot of places. And we are still seeing some other thunderstorms. This one right here, warned for wind and hail, had a report of 70-mile-an-hour winds right next to Tishomingo. So it was a very gusty one in southeast Oklahoma. This storm is currently moving around 35 miles an hour. Again, warned for 70-mile-an-hour winds and just about that ping pong ball sized hailstones. A couple severe thunderstorm warnings making their way, trying to get into northwest Arkansas yet again, trying to go for a twofer over in Fayetteville and Springdale. A couple clusters of thunderstorms. This was severe, a tornado warned earlier, but no longer is holding that tornado warning. Most of it is just really you're seeing your winds up to 60, 70 miles an hour and up to about that golf ball size hail. So we making its way into Poplar Bluff pretty soon. Right along Mississippi River Valley, right outside of Memphis, actually, we're seeing a handful of these thunderstorms clustering in. Luckily, only marginally severe, 1-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. Moving further south, you can see still a lot of those storms in Mississippi and Alabama. They got several tornado watches, these red shaded areas. That's those tornado watches. And you've got your severe thunderstorm warnings in shaded in yellow. So let me know where you're going to be watching from. I'll try to answer your questions for you guys. If you have any of those questions, we can easily get you kind of checked out. Like, hey, what's going on in Oklahoma? What's going on in Arkansas? What's going on in Texas? Love to get those questions answered for you because that's what we are here for. So let me know if you guys have any questions. But for right now, luckily, only one area of concern when it comes to tornadic activity. That's over toward Antlers. Again, it's warned for about that ping pong ball sized hail and the possibility of a tornado. Again, these storms are not exactly moving incredibly fast as they were earlier today. We had storms that were moving upwards to 60 miles an hour. Further north, though, closer to the low, they are still moving pretty fast. Actually, that one is moving at 60 miles an hour. Look at that over in Van Buren, Missouri. Very fast mover. 40 miles an hour. That's actually sub-severe hail. So we're already starting to see a little bit of wind risk already starting to go ahead over here, although that cold front is really set up about right this direction. So actually we can turn on dew point and see that real quick. There's a There's a dry line right there for sure is where that dry line's at. Cold front probably sitting around this direction. See the temperatures. Yeah, it's about where that cold front's sitting. You can see pretty good temperatures around those 50s and the 60s. We're pretty cool here in Oklahoma City. We're past the severe threat. So if you're watching from Oklahoma City, you are in the clear when it comes to that severe weather. So yeah, luckily, let's see what this is. Springfield. It looks like the Springfield Branson National Airport actually had a little bit of damage out there. They're saying if you have a vehicle parked in the airport, you should expect hail damage. And they're already seeing that. They're seeing damage to the facilities. Doesn't look like they have anything specific. They're assessing airlines. They're expecting impacts to flight schedules. So, again, it's been a pretty busy day for a lot of everybody. So far, I've had uh, two mapped storms so far today. We've had a 5-star that was over in Springfield. Actually, I pull up a photo for you guys. These were some pretty intense storms that we had. Look at that. Huge amounts of just shattering of the windows here. Again, it has been, we had some hailstones. Oh my gosh, that was so much of that. But it was a very, very busy day in Springfield. There was also storms that rolled through northwest Arkansas as well. It was a very busy day. I could pull that roll. Thanks, Jared, for sending this in, but not ideal. That's the best way to really put it right there. But again, it has been a very, very busy day out there for just about everyone in Springfield, northwest Arkansas, and now it's soon to be coming into Dallas, Fort Worth. That's the day. That's definitely the one we've been looking at for sure. So let us know if you have any questions. Looks like Fayetteville's, parts of Washington and Benton County's been under that severe thunderstorm warning. 70-mile-an-hour winds, not baseball, tennis ball sized hail. Happening in Fort Worth area? Good question. We'll actually get into our better look-see real quick. So this is over in your Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. You got 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. They are making their way in from the northwest. I'm going to actually download a couple more frames so we can get a better look. These are currently warned for, I believe it is 2-inch hail and golf ball sized hail. So decent little hailstones with these storms. They've both been upgraded to considerable. Yeah. So the one further south is currently being warned for 2-inch hail. The one up to the north is being warned for that golf ball sized hail. Now it's moving relatively slow-ish. It's a normal speed for some of these storms, 25, 30 miles an hour. There's been several reports of 1.5-inch hailstones, including a 2-inch hailstone from emergency manager. Emergency manager reported a hailstone 2 miles south of Bryson off of FM 1191. Is that a radio station? Nah, it's not a radio station. Flat Rod Road. I'm assuming it's an intersection. But for right now, we are watching closely for Fort Worth. Your tornado risk is pretty low, but your hail risk is looking really good. So if they can find a way to get into some covered parking, Sonoma, that is probably going to be the best bet for them because they really want to be able to get someplace out of the hailstorm if we do see these storms really starting to roll through. You're actually looking right this direction. I'm pointing the right way. That's right there over on I-30, right just outside of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. I've kind of got that camera positioned right there. It is pointing westward, so I might try to adjust the camera real quick to see if we can get something different. So give me just 1 second while I adjust. That's not what I was going for. That's what I want to drag over so you guys can see the radar and I only have to deal with the ones in the background. So is that pointed northward? That is not a good camera. That actually might work. There we go. How about that one? How does that look? There we go. So this, I believe, is pointed southeast. Actually, that's the complete opposite direction I want to see, so that camera won't do. Let me pull us up a camera real quick. Just give me just one moment. That one doesn't look bad. Really trying to find us a good camera. That's pointed westward. I think it's something pointed northwest. That'd be great. Ooh, actually, that looks really good. Yeah, let's use that one. This is over on Interstate 20, a little bit west of Fort Worth. So it is outside of the Metroplex, but it is pretty close, and it does give us a good view of these storms that are rolling through. They actually just warned it for a tornado. This is actually just outside of Springtown into Fort Worth. So we're going to start ramping up just a little bit. We're going to put on a couple different more panels. So give me just one sec while I. That is a reason why they actually tornado warned that. Wow, that is definitely what they need to show that for. All right, let's get this pulled up. All right, we're going to take a closer look. So it looks, is that debris signature? No, maybe not. Could be an anomaly, but I don't think it's a debris signature. No. So this is pointed northwestward, so that does give us a half decent view. It's a little difficult. A lot of the cameras are kind of pointed in the wrong direction. Let's actually pull this up real quick so we can get a good view. Very pixelated, but you can see it really well on that side right over there on the top right part of your screen there. A lot of that heavy rain. Ooh, boy. Let's go back to our radar real quick. So we have ourselves tornado warning just outside of Dallas, Fort Worth, right? Actually, just to the north and west of Fort Worth. So we are watching pretty closely. The chance of tornadoes today was pretty low, or is still pretty low, but it is not zero. There's a very rare day where you have a 0% chance of a tornado. Actually, I really haven't encountered a day yet that there's a 0%. Remove my microphone. There we go. Tornado of Fort Worth. It is eyeing down Fort Worth as well. So a little bit of a note for concern. Nothing is reported as confirmed yet. This is just outside of Springtown. So let's pull up a little information. So right now, they are saying severe thunderstorm warning capable of Bruskin tornado was located near Paradise, or 9 miles south of Bridgeport, moving southeast at 30 miles an hour. Got all three hail risks, or all three severe risks in this storm: tornado, golf ball sized hail, 65-mile-an-hour winds. So we got the triple threat going on with this storm right here. Radar indicated rotation, locations impacted, expected to be included are Azle, Briar, Reno, Springtown, very big suburb of Fort Worth, Boyd, Paradise, that's where it's located currently, Sanctuary, and La Junta. Also Cottondale, Highland Edition, and Keeter as well. Yeah, let us know where you are at so we can get you a good idea. We can get you that personalized forecast. That's what we are here for. Newest frame just updated north of Springtown. If it was a debris signature, it doesn't look like it's there anymore. It looks like it's fallen apart. So if there was a tornado, don't think it's there anymore. It's got good rotation on it, though. Very fast speeds. Got speeds probably up to, let's see, 56 knots, roughly, but 65 miles an hour. That's about what usually that would translate to. Knots is knots is really a nautical speed, but we use it in meteorology pretty frequently. You really just think of it as like 1.1 miles per hour to a knot. So basically just bump up like 5 to 10 miles an hour, and you're pretty much at miles per hour. Tyler, Texas. Frisco, Plano area. Oh, yeah, we got a lot of people asking about places across Dallas. Tyler, you're out of it for right now. You're not exactly seeing any threats at this very moment. I'm actually going to change over real quick to give us, there we go. So Tyler, Texas, you're a little bit further away, you're actually out of the watch for right now. Now, Plano, you're going to be seeing that chance pretty soon. The storms are a good ways away. They're about the entire metroplex away from Plano and Frisco, that area. So you're not really expecting those storms as of yet, but they are going to be headed your way over time. So if you're doing anything as of this very moment, you're probably fine. But over the next hour, hour and a half, I'd probably be thinking about, all right, it's time to get home and, get ready for these storms to start rolling through, or just make those preparations for if you are going to be heading into those storms. Dallas, Fort Worth, definitely seeing these storms rolling through. How about McKinney, Texas over the next 30 to 60 minutes? That is an excellent one. McKinney, I mean, if you're within the next 30 minutes, you'll probably be fine. You might encounter a couple showers, but the storms are not moving super quickly. That's the big thing here. The storms are not moving fast. According to this tornado warning, they're only moving at 30 miles an hour, which in an hour, I doubt it's even going to be in the Fort Worth metro. Not the entire metroplex in general, but just the metro. It's going to be tough to really get those storms to be moving really quickly. I mean, if you remember Saturday, we were on these storms for probably 4 hours, and we started in Fort Worth and we ended at Dallas in 4 hours because they were moving 10, 15 miles an hour. So even then, double that, 2 hours to get across the metroplex, that's going to be a long time. So McKinney, Texas, probably going to be a little bit before you actually start seeing storms. So if you have something you got to do for the next 30 minutes or so, you should be fine. When you start getting the next hour, that's when you might see these storms trying to roll through. So just keep an eye out. If you start hearing rumbles of thunder, that's when you definitely want to keep an eye out. New severe thunderstorm warning, kind of just expanding on this one right here. I'm interested to see the speeds. 30 miles an hour. So about the same speed as before. Still being warned for golf ball-sized hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, if these clusters of storms really stay, if they kind of expand out, we might actually see a preemptive change over to wind, which would hurt the hail chances quite a bit. I mean, there's still what we call semi-discrete supercells. So you can definitely tell this is a supercell here. Actually, let me change over to our... There we go. So you can definitely tell this is a supercell here. It's where your center of rotation's at. And then here's your supercell as well near Grafford. So these are semi-discrete supercells. Actually, a third one kind of built on the back end of this right here. So 1, 2, 3 supercells here. They are called semi-discrete. So they're not, exactly, you can't look at a radar and tell exactly where they are, but you can look at it longer than 5 seconds. Okay, yeah, that's it. I think we might have a tornado on the ground. Yeah, that's a debris signature right there. Does that match up perfectly? Yep, that does. I think we got a tornado on the ground. We'll see when this box turns purple. That's when they're going to be talking about a confirmed tornado. But so for right now, I'm just saying that it looks like we have a tornado on the ground just north of Springtown. But as of this point in time, the National Weather Service in Dallas-Fort Worth is not saying it yet. They have yet to confirm it. Once this red box right here turns pink, that's when we do have a confirmed tornado, according to the National Weather Service out of Dallas-Fort Worth. They might be waiting for the next radar loop to come in. And if that debris signature is still there, they're probably going to actually report that as a reported tornado on the ground. Let's see. Let's get the next update. 10 seconds. Let's see. Will it be a reported tornado or not? I think it should. I mean, with the debris signature, it's been on and off for a while. So I would have probably made it at least one by then. How long is it going to take for it to pop in? So if you're just joining us, tornado warning currently outside of Dallas-Fort Worth Metro. Sorry, Metroplex. Outside of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, might have the possibility of a confirmed tornado on the ground. National Weather Service office. It's still there. It is weakened a bit. They've got to report it. They got to put it as a reported tornado. At that point, you got 2 debris signatures. Or 2 frames of a debris signature, I guess. Let's take a quick volumetric just to look at it. Oh, yeah, massive overshooting top there, huge anvil. Oh, yeah. Still waiting to see that. That's over. Wow. That is reaching 60,000 feet. Holy Toledo. That is a massive overshooting top right there. You can see a cross section of that there. Looks good. Yeah, these storms are super impressive. They don't have a lot of good shear in them, which is what's kind of limiting the tornado threat. I say that as, you know, we're looking at a tornado probably on the ground. But where we weren't expecting a big tornado threat. And I mean, so far, I mean, we're sitting with 17 severe thunderstorm warnings and 2 tornado warnings. So that ratio is a little bit lopsided towards severe thunderstorms, and neither of those are confirmed. And good Lord, that should not be a tornado warning. That is an absolute mess. Probably canceled at this point. Canceled it for a few counties, but not the whole thing. Kind of a mess. That debris signature is there. Dallas still on the map? Oh, yeah. Big time. Big time. Dallas is still on the map, John. We are watching pretty closely for this little cluster of thunderstorms that are rolling through. It is tornado warned. And in my opinion, it probably should be reported tornado warned. We've had a debris signature for a little bit north of Springtown, but they have yet to actually reported tornado this yet. Granted, the biggest threat for today, John, is not going to be your tornado threat. It's really your hail threat. That's what we're expecting to be the big thing. Selburne, Texas. All right, I gotta consult Google Maps for this one. Selburne, Texas. South of Fort Worth. You're probably going to miss it. You might miss it. How far down is Selburne? Yeah, there it is. Oh, yeah. You might end up missing a little bit. Let's actually change over to our more wider range. So Selburne, you're technically in the tornado watch. I'd keep a heightened level of awareness, but you're still pretty far away from those clouds, or from just overall the storms themselves. So I would not really super worry about it, especially, I mean, these storms are on the other side of the DFW and they're moving at 30 miles an hour. So, like, not exactly a lot going on. Keith in Dallas, we had a lot of cloud cover today, and the sun really did. I'm assuming you say didn't break out. Temperatures never got over 90. You don't really need 90-degree temperatures in order to get storms. Clouds could cause an issue, but if we've already got temperatures like sitting, hold on, let's see how warm we are. We got temperatures low 80s with dew points in the 70s. Yeah, that's enough to really help that storm development really build through. Keith, is going to be, our moisture content sitting in the upper to mid 70s, and you got temperatures in the low 80s. That's enough. You're looking at a very humid environment. You don't necessarily need temperatures to be in the 90s in order to get those severe thunderstorms to really, fire up. Because we're already seeing them really firing up right now. Still, it's a really broken debris signature. Why have they not confirmed this yet? What is going on? Are they watching something? Are they seeing something I'm not seeing? It's like these guys are smart. They work for the National Weather Service, and it's just like, I am kind of confused on why they're not. Could it be that's been inconsistent? Again, inconsistent debris signature? Praying everyone is protected and safe. Yes, at the end of the day, that's what we all want. Everyone to be safe and protected. Hoping that this rotation does start to kind of give way a little bit before it gets into Fort Worth. Woo! What a hail core! Wow, that one holds together. That's going to bring some decent hail into Fort Worth for sure. Flower Mound, Highland Village area. north of Dallas. Let's see if I can try to find it real quick. It's how north of Dallas is it gotta be, you know? Definitely not that north. Flower Mound Highland Village. I can give you north of Dallas. You are looking at a handful of storms with some hail in it right now. It's upwards to about golf balls, all golf balls now. So it was golf balls and 2 inches, but now it's down to just golf balls. Lake Louisville, okay, yeah. Overall, I mean, you're still, you know, the entirety of the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex is kind of looking at these storms right now, and I mean, this one is the only one that's really concerning of in a tornadic sense, which it needs to be tornadically confirmed. I don't know why it's not. We've got a debris signature, or at least a broken one now. It was a lot better looking before, but not so much anymore. That hail core, though, holy crud. So when I'm seeing this hail core on the bottom left part of your screen right here, whenever we see these colors of yellows and greens and blues, that is basically we're seeing larger objects in the environment than just rain. All of these dark reds and purples here, those are almost exclusively rain. Meanwhile, when you start seeing these yellows, you're starting to get small hail, and then you get the greens and the blues. That's where your larger hail. Cape index map, don't have it on this right here. I'd have to pull up something else, but we know we got Cape it's more than enough. Like we have more than enough Cape to say grace over. I saw 5,000-6,000 joules of Cape in some areas, and it's just like, why? You don't even need that much. You just need like 1,000 joules of Cape, and that's it. Yeah, that hail core right there, I'm a bit noted for concern on that one. That's probably my biggest concern is that big hail core there. And latest frame had it kind of fall apart a little bit, but still note for concern. That debris signature still there. I don't know what they're on about. I do not know what they're on about yet. It's almost out of the tornado warning too, so they're going to have to issue a new one pretty soon. They're going to have to. So I imagine in the next few minutes, if not the next minute or so, they're going to be issuing a new tornado warning. Hopefully it will be as giving us a reported tornado warning, because that debris signature is very apparent. I actually see real quick if I can pull up. Let's see if I can pull up something to show what's going on. Do I have a camera close to it? Let us see. I'm going to take down the camera real quick just so we can kind of take a peek. No? We're just not going to work? All of them don't want to work. Oh, there we go. Ooh, that one's actually impressive. Look at that. Had a little bit of shaking on that pole there. Yeah, we're looking at the northwest on this one. So yeah, this is pointed toward where the storm would be, probably right to where you could see the northwest there. Okay, that wind, you can see that pole shaking there. It is windy for sure. I mean, these storms are also warned for 70-mile-an-hour winds, so we can't discount the winds as well. We got wind, tornado threat, and hail threat all within this one cell. Not very common where you get all three severe threats in one cell, especially higher threats, because you're seeing golf ball sized hail, which is what they label as considerably severe, 70-mile-an-hour winds, which is again considerably severe, and tornado, which by default, you think tornadoes are pretty rough, which they are. Already had golf ball size reports out of it too, near Bridgeport and Paradise. They're running out of space in that tornado warning. They've got to reissue it or something. And I imagine it's probably going to include Fort Worth. Actually, they just expanded that warning to include Fort Worth. So now we've got, let's see, this is being warned for golf ball size tail. Let me make sure this is actually new real quick. Yep, it is new. All right. So we got the severe thunderstorm warning now issued for about the northern half of Fort Worth, stretching into just past Arlington, so not including Irving. Severe thunderstorm warning located near Boyd, southeast, moving southeast at 30 miles an hour, so not a very fast mover. Golf ball size hail and 70-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, you can see the winds really blowing out there too. They've allowed that tornado warning to expire. They must have somebody on that storm that is confirming that it's not. So what we could be seeing with this anomaly in the radar is with the inflow. The inflow can be quite strong sometimes, and it can lift small objects, sticks, pebbles, things like that. One of the funniest things, especially in summertime, is they get wafted into the air. So that could be what this radar anomaly is right here, and the reason why they have not reported tornado warned it, but it stayed pretty close to that center of rotation. Unless they had somebody that was on that cell that was watching it intensely, confirming that there was no tornado on the ground. And with the rotation kind of flattening out a little bit, you see the greens and the reds. This little spin right here is kind of fallen down a smidge. So that's the reason why they've probably allowed that tornado warning to expire, though. I'm surprised they haven't reissued a tornado warning. Got a new tornado warning. It's actually just north of Memphis, that tornado warning is. Or no, it's... I lost Memphis. It's northeast of Memphis. That's where that tornado warning's at. A lot of lightning. Destructive storm heading toward Poplar Bluff. Warned for baseball-sized hail. Oh, my. Once again, still seeing... Got Taylor here.
Hey, Martin. This storm that's going into Dallas, Fort Worth, really right in the middle of it right now, looks pretty gnarly.
Yeah. There's a lot of areas right over the folks' place. Look at that. Severe thunderstorm warning. Oh, man. It's 4:50. All right, cool. Dad's home. That means the dogs are inside. That's good. I was about to text somebody who's like, get the dogs inside. They don't
Especially
like
with
storms.
this hail. Someone today made a great point on one of our posts. We posted the baseball-sized hail that was coming out of Springfield, Missouri earlier today, and they said, I'd rather be near a tornado or in a tornado warning than in this. That really just shows massive hail you do not want to be out in at all.
Not even close.
I wouldn't want to be in either.
We had a tornado warning earlier, and it was, I'm surprised they didn't. I think that they have somebody on this storm, Taylor, because it looked like a very apparent debris signature. If I go back just a little bit, you can see along the center of rotation, there is a debris signature, but they never did a confirmed tornado warning. warning. So I'm kind of wondering if they had somebody on the ground that was, or somebody there at the cell that was confirming that it wasn't on the ground.
Yeah, that would make sense that they've got someone, especially in the middle of the day like this. We have a very, very clear view of that storm whenever it's still daylight. So I'm sure that they've got probably a few people that are watching it. Hopefully, at least they've got a few people.
Yeah, this is over on State Highway 199. This is northwest of Fort Worth. You can see the looks like a flagpole or some kind of pole shaking pretty intensely there. Let's switch back over here real quick. It was spinning up pretty good earlier. I really thought they were going to confirm tornado it, but they never did. We've had a 2-inch hail report out of it as well, but they're both warned for golf balls right now.
With this being rush hour, I'm very glad that we don't have any confirmed tornadoes. Lots of people about to get on the roads, if not already on the roads.
Yeah, especially. Yeah, being the middle of the week, it's going to be everybody's. Not a lot of people working from home on a Tuesday. Lot of golf ball and $half sized hail reports so far. Kind of going around the horn a little bit. Got another cluster of thunderstorms making their way across southeast Oklahoma. Could be getting Idabel and Broken Bow pretty soon. Southern Fort Smith, Greenwood, Lavaca. You'll be seeing that pretty soon.
Brand new tornado warning for Weatherford, Texas, just along I-20. Or
I look away for a half second. All right, let's take a peek into the storm real quick. Yeah, that rotation looks really good. This is just north of Mineral Wells. No signature on the debris, so we don't have anything confirmed. We're getting all three of the severe weather threats, Taylor. We've got tornado threat, golf ball sized hail, and 70-mile-an-hour winds. We got all three considerable threats.
It just, it doesn't stop. And this is the third time Dallas DFW as a whole has gotten hit in the last 72 hours. The first one was on Saturday night, early Sunday morning. That second one on Monday night. And here we are Tuesday night talking about DFW once again. It's an area that seems to have missed a lot of that spring weather until now. And then it was just back to back to back days with all three threats right now. Golf ball size hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts for all of our evening commuters in Hazlet, Keller, Saginaw, Bedford, North Richland Hills, Fort Worth proper, Arlington, Sublette, and Webb. Now this goes until 6 o'clock tonight, so we've got a long time left on this storm. 30 miles an hour is how fast it's moving. I wouldn't be surprised if this storm outruns this warning just a little bit and arrives at some of these places a little bit earlier than what they've got warned for, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. This storm does have a history of producing golf ball size hailstones. We had a golf ball size hail report near Paradise, Texas, which is just a little bit to the north of Springtown, Texas.
That's a pretty big suburb over there as well.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll get some pictures here pretty soon, or maybe even some more hail reports. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
I've got couple friends in Poplar, so if they have baseball-sized hail there, we might have some pictures coming in pretty soon as well. Northwest Arkansas, looking for round 2 again. That was actually just recently upgraded to a 4-star hail map for us, so they're expecting looks to be a little bit lesser than before, but they do have that one warning currently warned for. Looks like it was bumped down to just ping pong ball-sized hailstones. And this one heading in toward Fort Smith is also for ping pongs. But overall, we're still going to be focusing big on Dallas and the Fort Worth Metroplex for today, at least for the next couple hours or so. 2 semi-discrete, well, really, actually, look at this, Taylor. We're up to 4 now. We're up to 4 semi-discrete supercells. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, and we knew that it would be a cluster until it forms into a line. So it's a cluster of storms right now. line of storms is what we expect later on today. So probably south of Dallas is whenever we'll start to see that threat shift from hail to wind. But right now, still a hail threat. We still have some wind in there. Yeah, it's kind of both, right?
It's just so what I'm thinking, and this was my theory on why I think that they did not tornado warn this, and this recent frame actually probably holds up my theory. I think the inflow is lifting debris off the ground, and that's what's causing that radar signature. So it wasn't a tornado, it was actually just the inflow pulling debris off of the ground and into the air, registering that debris signature, despite there not being a tornado on the ground. That's my guess. And especially with this long little line here along the inflow, that's what I think probably is also going to be theorizing that. Ooh.
Wow.
That is a wrap. That is complete wraparound. That blue there is not along the center of rotation. It's in the inflow. So it's not a confirmed tornado yet, but man, look at that spin around. You've got almost a full 360 degrees before you start seeing the yellows and reds pulling through.
Yeah, Martin, that's going to be on the ground here pretty soon, if not already on the ground. I mean, we don't have any confirmation quite yet. Look just to the right of Mineral Wells. Do you think that in your correlation coefficient on the bottom left-hand side of your screen?
It's along the inflow, so I don't think that is a debris signature. I'm curious to this next frame to see what's going to be happening right along this area, but that inflow,
north.
It's definitely I think it's picking up debris in the inflow here. It also might just be a little confused because there's not much precipitation going on in between Mineral Wells and Garner. But I am very curious to see what this next frame is going to look like, because if we do see a little green or blue circle pop up in the middle, correlating right there, we're going to see a pink box very quickly popping up. So we're going to keep an eye on that. I want to keep a very close eye on that one. And lowering correlation coefficient, but no real definitive debris signature yet. But man, put that in a textbook. That is a perfect hook echo right there. It is actually kind of interesting. You can actually see the complete life cycle of a supercell in these four individual cells: early development, peak development, mature stage. That is, because this one was the first to pop up. This followed it, and this is a very recent one. And we've already got another one trying to form in back here, all the way back at Breckenridge. Wow, look at that. Taking a step back, you can see some pretty good hail cores out of this as well. Take a look at that. There was a really impressive one in this one earlier, but it has kind of spread out, probably a little bit more numerous, moderate-sized hail. I'm waiting to see this next radar frame. I want to see if it does.
Yeah, with these evolving storms, we're going to see, that hail core also evolves. So sometimes we're going to see larger hailstones. Sometimes they're going to cycle through, produce smaller hailstones for a bit, and then get back up into those larger hailstone sizes. So that's, I think, why they've continued to warn this for golf ball size hail, even though we haven't had any reports of golf ball size hail in a while since Paradise, Texas. So that has been about... Oh, we haven't had a golf ball size hail report for about 40 minutes now, but we could see this cycle back in. There is some pretty decent inflow, I think, on this storm that's moving through Boyd and Newkirk right now. Rome, Hazlet, Keller, Texas. Those will be the next cities that are hit. I mean, Rome's getting just tons of rain right now.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to look to see if we can get ourselves a new camera real quick. Give me one moment here. Let me see if I can try to find something at Weatherford. We don't have anything over at Cool, Texas, unfortunately, but we got Weatherford. This is a nice camera, actually. It's just outside of the courthouse in Weatherford, Texas, but it is pointed westward. So we might see something trying to pop in in just a little bit. So we're going to keep watching this camera. This is the most westerly camera that we've got that's not west of Mineral Wells. Unfortunately, we have no cameras in Mineral Wells. Make sure, yeah, we don't have any cameras in Mineral Wells. East, west, northwest. Actually, I like this one better. This one's off of highway. This one's off of Interstate 20. This is south of Weatherford. If you're wanting to see an interesting place, northwest, that little NW there, that is what we're going to be looking at for the time being. Oh. Ooh, 2-inch hail report in northeast Oklahoma.
Wow. Northeast Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
This went a little bit farther to the east, to the north in Oklahoma than we originally expected. We expected it to stay down to the southeast. Idabel, Hugo, all of those areas we expected storms to form, but it went a little bit farther north than we originally expected, like Tahlequah and Westville.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy, we got a lot of stuff going on over in Florida. Actually, I'm gonna check one of my home group chats and we'll see if people are freaking out right now.
We have some brand new convection popping up in Richland Hills right now, that just ahead of that initial storm that was warned for Fort Worth. So Richland Hills, this will be moving into Bedford and Hurst. You guys probably see an uptick in the lightning in this area as well. This area has already been warned. It's already warned for severe thunderstorm. But this is brand new convection. And I'm really wondering if we go to GR2, I wonder like what exactly that would look like for this brand new convection.
Where'd you say it was again?
So just ahead of that original storm that was the reason for the severe thunderstorm warning into Fort Worth, North Richland Hills, Bedford, Arlington, brand new convection in that area.
Yeah, this is inner Colleyville and Euless. Anything for Tulsa? No, you're actually past the cold front if I remember the position of the cold front correctly. Yeah, you're about past it. Your temperature is currently sitting about 60 degrees. You're kind of in the same boat that we are here in Oklahoma. You're kind of in the stable environment. You look at the winds. Yeah, your winds are starting to blow out of the north, so you're going to be sitting pretty. If you're wanting to avoid severe weather, you're pretty much out of it. It's really any areas that are still seeing the southerly wind vector. That's the big thing for right now. Still no. Well, there's like 1 or 2 pixels that are kind of yellowish, but nothing definitive right now. Again, that shear is just not great today. That's one of the big things. That shear is just not great. Dallas getting some more hail? Maybe, if the trend continues.
This storm is moving in right now. Threatening hail for Dallas. Take a look at this picture. It's very ominous. On the north side of Dallas, this is on the 9 Mile Bridge on South Highway 199. It's facing to the north, so it's facing at that storm that is severe warned right now, producing tons of lightning, which we haven't been able to pick up from the camera right now. If you look very, very closely on the upper left-hand side of your screen, you can ever so slightly see it light up sometimes. I don't think these types of camera do a very good job picking up on the lightning, but we absolutely have some very dark, ominous clouds over Texas, Fort Worth specifically right now. This again is in the northern side of Fort Worth, looking to the north. This storm, originally moving at about 40 miles an hour, has started to slow down, moving to the southeast at 30 miles an hour as it's come into the city. It originally was moving to the southeast, but it now has taken more of an easterly turn, so maybe moving to the north of Fort Worth and more into Dallas. So we may have to keep an eye on this for Dallas more than we thought. We thought this would go right into Arlington, but it may be taking a more Irving or Richardson, Carlton, University Park area. So that's something to keep an eye out for as well. Dallas got some hail yesterday. You guys, Richardson, Rockwall got rocked by hail yesterday. CJ, did you guys see that? Is Fort Worth fine? Fam texted about a watch. So your
Now
watch.
they're texting you about a warning.
Yeah, your watch still goes until 9 p.m. tonight, but I do think that the Storm Prediction Center will release you guys from the watch before then. They've slowly been releasing some people behind these severe thunderstorm warnings. So yeah, you still have a watch right now. You still have a warning. It kind of depends on where you're at in Fort Worth. If you're on the northern side, you're in a warning right now. If you're on the southwestern side of Fort Worth, like by the Benbrook area, Edgecliff Village, Westover Hills, you're out of the warning for now, but you'll probably get a warning here pretty soon. Hey, by the way, we officially have a confirmed tornado from that storm that's going through Mislap right now. Moving to the southeast at 25 miles an hour, the biggest hazard here, a damaging tornado and golf ball size hail. We're going to pull that up on the radar for you. You can see that hook in the upper left-hand side of the screen, and we don't have a very clear CC drop. However, the National Weather Service has confirmed this as a tornado. At 5:10, they confirmed a tornado that was located along Highway 180, just west of Cool, or 3 miles east of Mineral Wells, moving to the southeast at 25 miles an hour. The biggest hazards here are damaging tornado and golf ball size hail, according to the National Weather Service.
They must have, it must be the next frame that we don't have that they do. If you want to leave up that camera, that would actually be really cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep pivoting cameras because it is a cool view as the storm continues to move. I'm gonna get a clearer view of it. I like having this camera on here.
Having you here makes it easier to have the camera, because I was trying to manage the camera and the radar at the same time, and I had to put it in like a little mini player, and it was super pixelated.
Oh, I got you. I can help you with it. I'm going to look around and see if we can get a better view of this tornado warned storm. We were a little bit east to see the actual tornado warning or supercell for this tornado warning. I'm going to move this camera around a little bit.
I mean, so I went up a few layers in the correlation coefficient, and there's like a kind of a drop off in the correlation coefficient. Actually, that might be it. That could be why they want. That could be why they made a warn. That this is the newest one that just dropped. So I think more than likely, that is probably why they did warn us, because that little is a couple pixels. It's all about inches with meteorology, and this is one of them right here. These couple pixels right here is what's really the difference between a tornado warning and a confirmed tornado warning. So areas in this, I'll give a little bit of information from what's saying from the National Weather Service. Oh, that is a great view. Wow.
So let me actually show this to you on the map. So this is your warning. I don't know if I can show the warning on here, but the warning is just to the north of here, right? Here's Millsap. The warning goes through Millsap, and then it'll go right through the east side of Bennett. So right through here where my mouse is. And so this is the view of that tornado warned supercell right there.
Yeah, I mean, I can see exactly the structure of that thing. That looks really good. Wow. So a little bit of information while we kind of admire the view. Tornadic thunderstorm still moving through. Saying tornado warning is still in effect until 5:45. Confirmed tornado is located along Highway 180 just west of Cool. Areas to be impacted are going to be Weatherford, Mineral Wells, Brock, Hudson Oaks, Western Lake, Annetta, Lake Mineral Wells, Annetta South, Annetta North, Millsap, Brock Junction, Garter, Tin Top, and Bennett. Those areas are in this warning. National Weather Service is saying a tornado is on the ground. Take cover now. Their words. So if you're not inside, get inside. If you are inside, get into a place without windows.
Yeah, absolutely. Try to find the middle part of your building. So try to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Make sure that you're not by any windows. That will be the safest.
Still got that debris signature. It's kind of right on the edge of the rotation. You can see right about here. That's where that tornado would be. So it might be unfortunate. It's kind of a uneven rotation. There's kind of rain on the south side of it, which is probably the reason why when Taylor shows her video, you can't actually see the tornado. It might be because there's actually rain in between us and the tornado. So if we were on the other side of the center of rotation, we could probably see it much better. But you don't want to be there. If you're on the north side of the center of rotation, you are in a very bad place. You are stuck between a tornado and a hail core. So not a place you want to be. Yeah, I think, Taylor, that this is that was that hail core they were talking about. So I think unfortunately we're going to be seeing only rain on the camera there, but still a really good view of a tornadic supercell. Branson, Missouri, you are almost out of the severe threat. You're technically not out of the severe threat yet, and you could have more development in most of Missouri. But right now, nothing is really in your region. A couple scattered thunderstorms near Springfield, Lebanon. They've been kind of tapped out when it comes to severe weather. They've had 2 individual supercells came in and gave some really, really rough conditions out there. We're going to head back down to Dallas, though. So looking at several supercells. We're also watching this one heading in toward Dallas. This is still being warned for 70-mile-an-hour winds and golf ball-sized hail. It's got a good, decent little hail core in it across that area. Hail core here is looking really impressive, though. That one over at Millsap that's reaching that, that's got that tornado on the ground currently. Also, some decent hail cores over at Mineral Wells. I'm surprised we haven't had any reports so far. I haven't toggled off. No, they're on. They did cancel the tornado warning for central Palo Pinto County. So they've kind of clipped it a little bit, but you're still under a watch. But they have not canceled the warning as a whole. Apparently, reports of several accidents in Fort Smith.
Unfortunately, yeah, and that's what happens, right? That hydroplaning, or you just can't see the car in front of you because the rain is so heavy, and then you all of a sudden are hitting someone that you didn't even know was there. That's a very unfortunate thing. We have a thunderstorm wind damage. They're not saying that it's from a tornado. They're just saying some strong wind right now. A train spotter reported a swath of tree damage near Mineral Wells Highway and Maddox Road. So this is from that just outside of Fort Worth storm, that Weatherford storm. They're saying that we are seeing some damage. So that's coming from the National Weather Service.
Good news, they have decided to allow not really let it expire. They had changed it from a confirmed tornado warning to just now a tornado warning. So we're no longer looking at a tornado on the ground, though it is still spinning up pretty good right now. It's just no longer confirmed over Millsap heading in toward Weatherford. 30 miles an hour, 25. These better not slow down like Saturday. I'm going to throw a fit if they do. I mean, I think the people of the Dallas Fort Worth fit too, because they had a lot of rain come out of this last one.
And then they're just getting more rain.
Share some of that with us in Oklahoma City, man. We need it. Have you had to water your garden all that much?
We have, yeah, we've had to water the entire yard, and every time that we do that, I'm like, so expensive.
Don't want to be completely ignoring this one as well. Considerable severe thunderstorm warning that's currently north of Fort Worth. It's over at Roanoke, Haslett, Grapevine, Keller, Justin, North Richland Hills. Arlington is also included in this warning, as well as the northern sections of Fort Worth. Now, this one is going to be heading in toward Dallas pretty soon. It's got a good little rotation on it, but nothing super concerning. It's not a really super tight rotation. We actually just clipped it a little bit. It is warned for golf ball sized hail and also 70-mile-an-hour winds. More than likely, we're going to be seeing Richardson, Allen, those places in this warning pretty soon. Dallas itself, we'll probably see some of the Louisville, Carrollton, Hebron, Plano. I don't remember how to say it. Is it
Saxy.
Saxy? Oh man, I thought about it. I was like, oh, what is it? I know somebody told me last time if I say it wrong, I'm burned at the stake for it.
We learned it last night.
So 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, 1 tornado warning. They've kind of clustered all the rest of these supercells, these semi-discrete supercells in with. Actually, they bumped that up. Is this a? Ooh, they're warning it for tennis ball sized hail now. That is on the cusp of giving it a destructive tag. If they bump it up to baseballs, that does warrant a destructive tag for this severe thunderstorm warning. Got another good view up on Interstate 730. That looks really good.
Yeah. Is that the one in the? Yeah, right there. That looks really good. So this is actually from not the tornado warned storm, but the severe thunderstorm warning that's considerable that's going into North Richland Hills right now, or just to the north of there. Other cities that are impacted that Martin has already kind of told you guys about is Keller, Texas, Roanoke, Grapevine, Flower Mound will all be impacted by this storm. You guys are probably seeing some rain right now, lightning and thunder, and ominous dark clouds. However, you guys will continue to see that at least for quite some time. As this storm, it's not moving very fast. It's moving to the southeast at about 30 miles an hour. So it's going to stick around for your entire evening commute. This probably will not move out of Fort Worth, at least for the next half hour, maybe 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, maybe even 8 o'clock, that this thing will be slowly but surely sticking around. You know, Martin, I can't help but notice that this storm took a very similar turn to our storm on Saturday night. Now, our storm on Saturday night got farther into Fort Worth, and then it immediately turned to the east, and it went straight for Dallas. This one has taken a very similar path, southeast track, all of a sudden slowed down, took an eastward turn into really Louisville is where it's headed next, it looks like.
I know the food is good in Dallas. Maybe the storms like to linger.
You want to get some barbecue?
The barbecue over there is really good. So we actually got another report.
Maybe they're a Terry Black fan.
59-mile-an-hour wind gust. This was over at an ASOS site near Mineral Wells. The site KMWL gusted to 59 miles an hour. My rule of thumb normally is if you have a site that is going to be giving 59, you normally have someplace that's going to see probably closer to 60, 65, 70 miles an hour. Because normally what gets confirmed is normally not what ends up becoming your maximum wind. It's kind of like hailstone. You know, you'll have a 3-incher reported, but maybe there's a 4-incher that will, land in a field, melt away, and never get seen.
Well, and people they don't go pick up their hail until after it's done hailing. At that point, it could be 20 minutes from the time that hailstone hit. So it's got 20 minutes to melt. That's a lot of melting that could be done in that time frame.
Oh yeah, no, it absolutely could. I mean, think about how much it's melted as it goes down. Argyle. I have not. We haven't had that one.
Yeah, I don't think that we've had any questions about Argyle yet. Very top north of the warning for this, just south of Denton. If you went south of Denton, you could find Argyle. Yeah, you guys are included in the severe thunderstorm warning. I'm sure you're getting some really heavy rain right now. You have hail a little bit to the west of you, but I'm not too worried about hail in your area. If there is any hail at Argyle, you let us know, but I bet it'll be on the smaller side.
Yeah, you're seeing usually yellows, and you're not completely discounting seeing hail if the rate reflectivity is around your yellows, but normally you want to start seeing reds or really some purples before you want to start seeing that. Small Haslett. Yeah, we're seeing, looks like some good chances for some hail over at Haslett. Trying to see a little bit what our mapping mets are saying currently.
This is a view from Argyle right now. It looks like traffic, it's moving slow, but it's moving okay on the roads right now. It's raining pretty hard here. You can see that all of these cars are splashing up that rain from the roadway and into the car behind them. So just be careful if you get on the roads right now. Small hail in Haslett.
Rather be a little bit late than be several hours late because you got into an accident.
Looks like we've got a standstill here, or an almost standstill on 35.
Never a good sign.
Back in Saxe, Northeast Dallas County. Yeah, Chipper, if you get any pictures or videos, let us know for sure.
Safely. Do it safely.
There's some rain coming down, just tons of rain here. It's hard to see. It's got some low visibility. This is near Trophy Lake Drive.
Okay. And again, like this is something else that is not talked about as frequently, but is still as important. We had flash flood warnings in Dallas on Saturday. If these storms continue to slow down as they make their way in, we will, and it's not really like we might, I know we will see flash flood warnings in our inevitable future if they continue to slow down. A lot of this, Dallas Fort Worth, they probably have a fantastic sewer system. You can only take so much rain at one time. That's just, it's natural. The rain has to go somewhere, and it won't all just immediately fall in the gutters and drain out immediately. So for at least a time being, while the rain's falling or a little bit after the rain is falling, that's when you'll begin to really see that flash flooding initializing. We haven't had any flash flood warnings yet. The storms are probably moving just fast enough where they can avoid it. But if they start slowing down to like 20, 15 miles an hour, we're going to see flash flooding again. Still at tornado warning. Center of rotations over toward Weatherford right now. Let's pull up the 4 panels again. No debris signature. Rotations sort of flattened out a little bit. It's kind of like a couplet inside the broader rotation. That's kind of interesting. But no debris signature. Nope. No debris signature right now. Oh, they bumped down the other cell that's heading in toward northern Dallas. They are now warning it for 60-mile-an-hour winds and 1-inch hail. So that is now marginally severe.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about that, given the fact that we haven't seen a report from this cell in over an hour at this point. I'm not surprised that they bumped this down. It's
the hail course.
Yeah, I think we were going in the same direction there, Martin. Go for it.
The hail course pretty much. There's a little bit, especially toward Keller, you might be seeing where that 1 inches are coming from. But you compare this like to the Weatherford over here, we've got decent hail core just outside of Weatherford. So I'm not surprised that they're doing that. They might even drop it down to where it's sub-severe hail, but still wind. Because we are still seeing some pretty decent winds coming out of it. Inflow and outflow boundaries. Both of those are kind of really giving some nice gusts of wind. And we have had reports of those in the past couple of minutes. We had a 59-mile-an-hour wind gust south of Mineral Wells. Ooh, wait, no, this was this was already for tennis balls. That's right. I'm surprised we haven't had any reports out of this yet, though. We got 3 tornado warnings. Let's see. Kind of around the horn again, real quick. Couple severe thunderstorm warnings. Warned for golf balls. Couple tornado warnings. Nothing confirmed. Heading toward Idabel. We'll keep an eye on that. Idabel is a decently populated town. Couple thousand people, but it's a hub for the area. Oh man, look at that. More golf balls for Farmington and Fayetteville. They got hit earlier today and then they got another round.
Wow.
Oh,
I mean, it's just been storm after storm for them. That may be like the 3rd time that they've gotten hit today.
A lot of them already. There's basically, once you get south of Fayetteville, there's pretty much nothing there. So I doubt we'll get any reports out of this cell right here, but you can tell right where all the population's at with this cell. Luckily, it's only warned for golf balls, so it wasn't as big as before. They had baseballs this morning. Oh my gosh. Springfield had 2 rounds, but looks like they're finally tapped out, at least for now. Several gusts. Wow, 70 miles an hour, 61 in Poplar Bluff. I'm actually going to see if I have any pictures from my friends over at Poplar real quick. A couple storms, marginally severe, making their way into Jackson, Tennessee, just east of Oxford, Mississippi. That's kind of funky. Look at that. There's a hole in that tornado watch. That's peculiar. Wait, hold on. Is that recent? It is recent.
They're slowly allowing
Memphis said we're
people,
done. We're going to bed tonight.
they're slowly allowing people to be removed from that watch. I think that Dallas probably is probably in the same boat where they're like, we also want to call it a day.
Especially the past couple of days, for sure.
Dallas, how are you guys sleeping? Because we've had a lot of late night storms.
I don't think it'll be as late as we had Saturday night, thankfully. You guys can actually rest, not having to worry about those storms super late at night, but I think it's still going to be a little bit before these storms really move through. Still at 1 inch.
Martin, we have a question in the chat about what looks like inflow near Keller, Texas, north of North Richland Hills. Now, I see what you mean. I see that it looks like, we're trying to see a little bit of a wraparound there. I'm not too confident that we're going to see anything significant here, maybe some strong wind gusts. What's your take on that, Martin?
I mean, I can see where it looks like it is, but it's in a very late stage of its development. So like, it's probably, honestly, if I had to guess, it's in a weakening phase. Like, yeah, your overshooting top barely exists anymore. You do still have an updraft. You can see that updraft with the higher reflectivity right there. But like, you look at it flat, like, parallel with the earth, there's no more overshooting tops. So like, really, the downdraft is starting to take over the updraft a little bit. And while the updraft is still the dominant force in this storm, I don't know for how long it's going to be the dominant force. So that's really the thing you start seeing with these weakening supercells is, your downdraft begins to take over. That's when you start seeing your QLCS really start forming in, aka your wind. Because with your downdraft, you get the winds coming down out of the clouds, and oh my goodness, now we've got winds on the surface. So that's kind of how your storms end up developing. More standstill. Oh goodness. Oh, that's on Interstate 35 West. That's not going to be fun for a lot of drivers.
Yeah, a lot of people getting a ton of rain there. Not only are you in standstill traffic, but you have that rain coming down around you. That's not very fun. At least, I mean, for those drivers, at least they can find hope in the fact that there's not too much hail with this. At least you're not stuck in traffic with it hailing baseballs around you. Those drivers, I'm sure, are very, very thankful of that. There's a little core in South Lake that I would keep an eye on. This may have a little bit of hail with it. Definitely some heavy rain in South Lake. I'm not saying that hail is very big, but I do think that there's some hail ongoing in South Lake right now.
Bennett as well. There's a good little hail core there. South of Millsap. We're seeing, lowering correlation coefficients that tells us that we are seeing some hail, but it's definitely not as impressive as we were expecting it to be, at least right now. I mean, we could always see it recycled, that we're not saying that it's, it's all over, but for right now, the biggest we have is baseballs. And that's only one warning. The other warning is one for hen egg size. So, and then our other one is only 1 inch, which is the very definition of severe hail. So, like, it goes down any less, it's going to lose the tornado. It's going to lose the severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah, for sure. And this is the last chance for severe storms in Dallas for quite some time. So after today, you'll be severe clear for a while, unless we have a rogue thunderstorm, which seems to happen in the spring. But it does look like it's going to be a little bit chillier as we head into the rest of the week, with those storms, especially that storm risk, being a very, very low probability as we head into the end of the week. So this last little push is about it.
And it's going to be a break for a lot of people too. I mean, the environment, the whole atmosphere is really going to start chilling out. We actually have another report of wind as well. Let's see what this says. Train spot. Oh, that's the previous one you're talking about. Let's see. Train spotter reported multiple homes and structures damaged on Lee Street to the east of Mineral Wells. Now, this is technically classified as thunderstorm wind damage, but this was right along the center of that rotation. So this could end up have been a tornado damage. Not confirmed, though. This is just my intuition. This is right on top of that center of rotation, which, granted, your strongest winds are in that center of rotation most times. But you had 2 of those reports were perfectly coinciding with that center of rotation, and actually right on top of that debris signature too. So it's easily a possibility. Got 2 tornado warnings across the nation. Bird's eye view once again. Several reports of wind outside of Poplar Bluff, Missouri. 70-mile-an-hour winds. We have tractor trailer blown over on the Arkansas state line. Outbuilding blown into a house. Large trees down in Oxley. And a 61-mile-an-hour wind gust. So we saw some pretty strong winds out there in Poplar Bluff. Several hail reports inside Northwest Arkansas yet again. That one that was affecting Northwest Arkansas has been dropped below severe limits, but they still have this one just to the south that's much further out of population centers. South of Fort Smith is seeing plenty of rainfall, Poto region as well. Tornado warning for most of McCurtain County. This is a really peculiar place, Taylor, and somebody who has lived near this area for a long time. McCurtain County, for some reason, is a tornado magnet. It's one of the lowest points in Oklahoma. Idabel is only like 300 feet above sea level, but for some reason, they keep getting tornadoes. I've not been able to pinpoint the reason why. You would expect the lowest point, a place where it's super hilly, trees everywhere, worst place for tornadoes. But for some reason, they just love being in Broken Bow, Idabel.
Yeah. I know that there's been a lot of storms that have crossed over this area multiple times over the last few years, not just this past year, the year before, but we've seen tornadoes go over the same path just over and over and over in this area.
2-inch hail as well out of Mineral Wells. That was not too long ago. Let's see how long this one was. Yep, right with that little hail core right there. Oh, there he is. Anything this man says cannot be held against me. This is my old college roommate. Hey, Ben. Watching from Poto. You are under a severe thunderstorm warning, but I know you're also watching somebody else, you traitor. Got wind gusts up to around again 60 outside Dallas. Little hail course coming back over toward Justin. We can see some of it. Actually, they did bump it up as well. They bumped it back up to golf balls. So it's sort of a cycle. Sort of a recycling a little bit. If this makes its way into Plano, we might be able to get some pictures from one of our friends who lives in Plano. And that 2-inch report, let's see where that came from. Amateur radio operator reported 2-inch hail southwest of KMWL. That was that site that recorded the 60-mile-an-hour wind gust west of Millsap. There was also looks like a couple more. Oh, those were old reports. All righty. Got it. Kind of expanded out a little bit, these severe thunderstorm watches. They're out toward Nashville, southern Kentucky. Those other places are seeing that. About half of Alabama is under a severe thunderstorm watch, too. A place that has been dodging storms like the plague all this spring. Some people have been very happy about that. Others maybe not so much happy about it. Yeah, that one Weatherford still got a little bit of a bow on it. It's trying so hard to spin up, but the shear in the environment's just not good enough. These storms have so much energy to tap into. If we just had a little bit more shear, we could have a really big problem with tornadoes today. But luckily, that shear decided to take the day off.
I'm also quite surprised about this storm that's in Keller and Grapevine now. It's just continued to weaken and become more disorganized, but it is out on its own. You would expect this storm out on its own with nothing in its path to strengthen and intensify. It hasn't done that, very obviously. We did just get a brand new 1-inch size hail report from this, and we did mention earlier that we could see some hail in South Lake, and we're getting a 1-inch size hail report. This is actually technically in Keller, Texas, but the emergency manager reported multiple 1-inch size hailstones, so it's about the size of a quarter, between Keller, including Roof Snow Drive and Bear Creek Parkway, and 1709 in Keller Smithfield Road. So some very specific updates now that we're getting 1-inch size hail in Keller, Texas. That was a few minutes ago. Pea-sized hail in Aledo. Is that how you say it?
There's a little bit of a drop there when it comes to your correlation coefficient. So I buy that pea-sized hail. Luckily, the thing about pea-sized hail is you don't got to worry about it dinging up your car. I think they cut down recently. Oh no, they just issued a new tornado warning. A little bit of a readjustment of the trajectory for the tornado warning. They allowed the other one to expire. Good. It's spinning up just enough to where I think they're saying like, okay, a tornado could really pop in at any time, but they haven't had confirmation.
Not in a while.
Do we have any cameras over in Crescent? That'd probably be a really good view if we have one pointed like northwestish.
Here, let's check it out.
Ooh, that's a nice picture.
And you said Creston?
Cresson,
Crescent.
Cresson.
Give me an idea of where that's at.
Just south of, think Weatherford. Go a little bit south.
I got you.
East.
We have a camera right in the middle there.
Part of DFW is getting hit around 7, or will have passed through. Aaron, it's probably going to be over the next bit through 7 o'clock. Most of DFW, honestly. I mean, the thing is that Fort Worth is probably going to start seeing these storms, but they're just moving so slow. That's the thing, is they're moving slow. They have actually, they're maintaining 30 miles an hour. So they're not ridiculously slow, but think of it as like inside city speeds. That's really how fast these storms are moving. So we're probably looking at getting into Fort Worth proper within the next hour or so. That's pointed northeast.
Yeah, this is a little outside of Creston. So this is in Joshua. That camera in Creston doesn't want to seem to load, which may be
Is there any
a sign that a lot of people are on there, or it may just be down. But this is in Joshua. We've got another one in Cleburne, pointed to the northeast, but not much to see here. You can see that we've got some darker clouds in the background over here. But traffic is moving fine. The roads are dry over here as well.
Any in Aledo, possibly? It'd be a little bit rainy, but it would be some action going on for sure.
Aledo, closer to White Settlement.
Still only 2 tornado warnings across the region. We've seen a significant drop-off, Taylor, of considerable warnings, actually. We're down to 4 considerable warnings. We have one up toward very extreme southeast Missouri. This is near Chalk Bluff, moving out of Poplar Bluff, which is a city there. Severe thunderstorm warning in McCurtain County, Oklahoma. This is heading in toward Idabel. It's tornado warned as well. Another one in northwest Arkansas, moving out of the populated areas, heading in toward Cass. All of these are warned for. The one in Poplar Bluff is warned for subsevere hail, 70-mile-an-hour winds. The one in northwest Arkansas is warned for both strong winds and golf ball-sized hail. And then the one in Oklahoma is warned for 70-mile-an-hour winds and golf ball-sized hail as well. And actually, they bumped this up. This is now tennis balls. It was 2. It was 2-inch before. So golf ball sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds. So this is probably our most impressive cell of the night as of this point. And that inflow is really starting to pick up. You can really see that. What we're looking for right here is a couple different things. We obviously want to see that big hook on your reflectivity there. This is just south of Weatherford. And then you're wanting to look for a big bulge of your green here. That's your heading toward. Wow, that is a lot going on.
Yeah, this is just to the west of Annetta, but if we go a little bit south of there, I mean, you can see just how much these trees are blowing.
Ooh.
Check this out. I mean, these are some pretty decent sized trees. They shouldn't be blowing this much. We've got stopped traffic. Yeah.
This storm is warned for 60-mile-an-hour winds.
And it's tornado warned too, so we could be getting some of the inflow here. We're going to really have to keep an eye on if we see the winds change direction. It's hard to tell from this view.
Mm-hmm.
And we're kind of looking to the west, southwest. So this is the direction that we'd want to be looking in.
Oh, yeah. I mean, those trees are really rocking. You see the cars down at the corner as well. They're moving very slow. That means it's either got to be very, very windy or the rain is coming down very, very hard, or a mix of both.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Crescent still is struggling to load here. Ooh, another one.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that'll do it. Where's that at? I-20?
Yeah, this is in Alita, or just Aledo, excuse me, just north of Aledo.
Oh yeah, no, that's if you look at the radar where Alito is compared to where we're sitting right now, compared to the cell itself, Alito is getting some pretty heavy rainfall, and the winds aren't even at their peak either. Usually, your winds, and that is south is probably what's getting the strongest winds. That inflow, ooh, that inflow just looks like that inflow just fell apart in one frame. It's still there. It looks less impressive though. We've now got two of these storms now marginally severe. Man, look at that other cell, Taylor. It is just falling apart.
I was looking at that. Just as you were talking about it, just before you were talking about it, Martin, and I just kind of had to laugh. You said that the inflow was falling apart. I was like, that seems to be a common occurrence with these Texas storms, that they looked so impressive earlier. 2 hours ago, we were like, this is going to rock Dallas. And then all of a sudden, that northern storm, our most put together, organized storm, just completely fell apart. And then our other two storms, which seem to have a lot of promise, I mean, sure, ping pong ball size hail, 2-inch size hail reported just south of Mineral Wells in the Bennett area is very impressive. Got a nice clear south wind, so the storm should be sustained at least for a decent amount of time. Also looking pretty promising, but I'm just wondering what'll happen as it continues to track to the north, excuse me, to the southeast. Is it going to get hit by some of these northerly winds? Is the front overrunning these storms? I don't think so, but maybe. I'm not quite sure exactly what's going on here. I mean, we can look at temperatures.
That's about the best way.
We're still sitting at 70, 72 in Decatur. So
winds are, well, no.
The front isn't impacting too much. I mean, we're still at 80 in Wichita Falls.
Yeah.
I'm wondering.
They're in the technically the cold sector, even though it is 80 degrees in Wichita Falls. The wind is blowing out of the north. So like the front is there.
The cold air is lingering a little bit.
Yeah.
Taking a while to come in.
Seems that way. What's the temperature across? Yeah, we got it's still 80 degrees. But I mean, just south of it, like you look further down, there's a big drop off, and you go from like Plainview to Lubbock. You go from 80, 85 degrees to 90 something in extreme southern Texas.
Hey, check out those storms. There's one that's going up in Sanderson right now. I do think that we'll see these storms pop off pretty fast, and then that's in far southern Texas. So think Del Rio area. We've got a little storm down there, and I think that it'll explode really fast, create a few hailers, and then I don't think it'll last very long. But
yeah, just like 15 minutes ago it wasn't there, and poof, now it's here.
The NAM had this earlier today, and it was something that we actually accounted for in our hail forecast today. We stretched that larger hail all the way down to southern Texas just for these storms right here.
And I could buy them. Again, they're very quick-lived. They're basically like supernovas. They appear very quickly and then they're gone.
Supernova. And then they bring rain and a flooding threat.
Still warned for tennis ball size hail, but we haven't had any reports out of it. And this isn't in an insignificant area. Like these are suburbs of Fort Worth. It's got some decent little hail cores. This is just near Annetta right here. It does correlate with some higher reflectivities just south of Annetta and south of Weatherford. I mean, I know that when you get out here, they're playing with that. Oh, they moved it away. They moved it back. Darn. Well, look at east. Somebody's playing with that camera in Texas.
Maybe they see something that we don't know is there. I have no idea. I wish they had a windshield wiper on this camera.
Yeah, those are expensive. Windshield wiper. We actually had some of my old stations I worked for. We had some windshield wipers. It was a button. It was a physical button that you click for windshield wipers.
These cameras can do some pretty cool things. You can defrost, you can thaw. You can do all these cool things with these cameras. So I wouldn't be surprised if they have windshield wipers, but I
And
don't know about
we
travel
had one that we
cameras.
refused to use the windshield wiper on because it was like really high up and the wiper was like really old. So like it would just smudge everything. And it was like, use the wiper on everything except the Garrison camera. That one will make it infinitely worse. And you have to wait for the rain to clean it off. So if it's rainy on that camera, just leave it alone. Still warned for baseball-sized hail. This goes until 6:30. So this is really our only considerable warning in the DFW region. The rest of them are kind of they're I think they're going to be allowing this one to expire. That first sale that we were watching, it looks like they're just going to let it go because they're not re-warning it. They've got 3 minutes left on that warning too.
Martin, I have bad news for you. 60s and quarters. Carrollton, Richardson, Irving, Dallas, proper.
Even if it's
quarters.
not actually severe, I would still warn it just because it's going into Dallas. So sure, I'll go with that. But it probably still has those wins in. It did have $1. It did have a half a quarter. Man, I speak things out of existence. That's what I do. I am here to speak things out of existence. Yep.
I'm just putting it on the screen.
Thanks, Chip. As that goes until 7 o'clock, still moving east at 30 miles an hour. Actually, straight east right now. It's moving over to DFW Airport.
We have an update here. Are we looking at a tornado that's going to hit South Annetta? So that'll be the tornado warning. We haven't seen anything confirmed yet. However, we do have a report that is saying that's where I'm at right now, and we're getting pelted by massive hail right now. So if you have hail pictures and videos, feel free to send those in to us. But we don't have a confirmed tornado at the moment. We do have a tornado warning, so make sure that you stay in the innermost room of your house. Still continue to shelter.
Yeah, let us know if you can see about what the size of hailstone is. If it's dangerous, don't risk it. But if you're in a good place and you're seeing that the hail's not hitting your window, at least kind of just like, look at the window on maybe your east side of the building and see if you can see what the size of the hail is. But if anything's hitting the windows, do not even risk it because that hail can and will bust windows.
Yeah, especially how big. I mean, I think it's warned for tennis balls, right?
Just got a 2-inch hail report near Dennis Road. I think this is a delayed report. Yeah, it was a little bit of a delayed report. But yeah, it's still warned for tennis ball sized hail. Still got a decent little rotation on it, but I still think that hail is going to be the big thing. They've allowed the other ones to expire over toward Mineral Wells. So while these are still, this is a little bit far away, so we are seeing pretty high up in the atmosphere, but it's what I think might be a little bit of a hail core, sort of, or a Metcalf Gaff, Palo Pinto. But still, most of Dallas, you have been put under a severe thunderstorm warning. It's only a marginally severe, so it's not anything you haven't seen before, but severe thunderstorm warning nonetheless for the next hour and 1 minute. Kind of go back around again real quick, see what's going on. 1-inch hail report at Yazoo City in Mississippi. I still don't think anything beats Y City though. That I still think is the best one. Had a couple golf ball size reports in extreme northeastern Arkansas and extreme southeastern Missouri. That is a 70 mile an hour wind report.
Wow. You don't want that and hail.
Yeah, they had this mostly just reports, but they did have reports of hail. I talked to my friend in Poplar Bluff. They said the wind was blowing very heavily and it was the rain came down pretty heavily, but they actually didn't get any hail in Poplar.
Okay.
about 2 inches starting to come past the porch. Yeah, don't risk going outside. Please don't do that.
Wow.
But yeah, 2 inch hail. It's about hen egg sized hail, which is actually what it is warned for. A little bit under what it's warned for, but we've had reports of 2 inch sized hail from this cell already. So I absolutely buy that.
Photo from inside. Well, I do think that these are our last two storms that'll be coming through the Dallas metro today. So we've got that one that is up near Grapevine and Carrollton, Richardson. Tons of lightning on this, but other than that, your hazards are pretty minimal. This is what we call marginally severe, so about 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Again, that's 1-inch size hail, the size of a quarter, like a coin. And then we also have that tornado warning, which is still something to take very seriously. It's now taken less of a southeasterly turn and more of an easterly turn at about 30 miles an hour, although the National Weather Service has 30 miles an hour. I'm not quite sure I believe that. I think I would believe a little bit closer to 20 miles an hour at this point. Doesn't mean it can't pick up speed. But that tornado warning still goes until, oh, and look, they have updated it to 25 miles an hour, so we'll meet in the middle there. Again, it still is warned until 6:15 in southeastern Parker County. And really what it is it's a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. So the sirens may be going off in this area. Also, 2-inch size hail is possible with this storm as well. And again, that's in places like Aledo, Annetta, Crescent, Annetta South, and Annetta North. As always, if you have any weather questions, you can put those in the comments section. We're monitoring the comment section right now. And we've answered a lot of questions for you guys today, like Tulsa, Fort Worth. These are from earlier, so I'm not going to go back over them now. But we have been answering your questions today, and we appreciate you guys talking with us on here. We always enjoy updating you guys on the severe weather across the U.S. Speaking of across the U.S., we have another pretty impressive storm that's moving into Sikeston right now. That's in the far eastern side of Missouri, producing golf ball size hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and then 1 tornado warning. So really we only have 2 tornado warnings ongoing right now. We have 2 that are in southeastern Oklahoma and the far western side of Arkansas. And then another just outside of Fort Worth, heading right now into Benbrook. And Martin, they have on this storm right here, although it is looking more disorganized to me, they have it moving to the southeast. To me, it looks like it's taking more of an easterly turn, but it's looking more and more disorganized. Do you think that they're going to extend that warning?
I mean, so it's pulling in. You could see it's basically that last supercell is kind of essentially getting absorbed into the main cell. Actually, let me pull this real quick just to show the one panel. You can see that other supercell behind it kind of gets pulled in through that inflow. So it's kind of merged into one at this point, which sometimes these mergers, they can cause an issue, but normally you want it to be below the actual, this is a bad way to try to describe this. You want it to be below the supercell so it can get pulled in the inflow, and that really spins up, but it kind of is parallel, meaning it's probably just going to, I might see them just end up canceling the warning because like you said, it's getting way more disorganized. It's also, they're probably going to have to be forced to issue a new warning pretty soon if they're going to do anything because it's now further south.
Well, and that was perfect timing. I see the warning pop up on my screen right now. We do have a warning now for Benbrook, Forest Hill, Crowley, Crescent, Godley, Joshua, and Cleburne. This is for 2-inch size hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. They're saying tornado possible here, but I'm wondering if you're absolutely correct on here, Martin, and this is going to replace the tornado warning in the next 10 minutes. You know, the National Weather Service may just say, let's wait 10 minutes. Let's see what's going to happen. We'll have to see. We've got a new tornado warning too that's back to the west, and that's right along I-20 near the Palo Pinto area, Metcalf Gap. That's hard to say.
Tornado or severe thunderstorm?
Severe thunderstorm warning. And that's going to be our newest severe thunderstorm warning. Not too impressive, but again, this storm is in its early stages, so we could see that change. But you're right, not too impressive right now.
I mean, I was looking at it earlier, and it does have a decent little hail core. Granted, we are sitting, this is at 4,300 feet in the air, so it's not super exact one-to-one what we're seeing on the ground by any means. But it is overall a little more of an impressive storm. Yeah, it's building. It's building. So it's building, yeah. Storm. It's a baby storm. But yeah, the thing is, I'm still watching really closely that hail core south of Aledo. We did have that report here about the 2-inch hailer, so we are watching it. The phone says tornado watch for my area, but is there anything about a tornado yet? So the thing about a watch is that it's basically an environment ready to make a tornado. Now, that does not mean you are expecting one. So this all area in red, this is all a tornado watch. So like almost all of Arkansas, half of Tennessee, 3/4 of Mississippi, part of Louisiana, part of Oklahoma, about 1/5 of Texas is all under a tornado watch. So it's not like there is a tornado coming with a tornado watch. It's really the warning that you want to watch out for. And this warning they've got currently active is probably not going to be lasting much longer.
I'm not seeing a ton of photos in the Fort Worth area of hail. That may mean that we didn't see a ton of hail in this area. And we didn't see a ton of reports either. So like Eagle Mountain, Keller, Newark, Hazlet, like all of these areas would be places that we're watching for hail reports, and we're not seeing a ton of it. Now, we did, if you guys are looking for hail reports, see a lot of hail farther back to the north near Decatur and Bridgeport, Paradise, like all of these areas had a ton of hail. So as this storm was approaching DFW, we really thought that we were going to see a lot of hail in DFW proper, and we haven't seen a ton of that. We still have one severe thunderstorm warning in northern Dallas. It's garden variety, and that more impressive storm that'll be in the western side of Fort Worth as well.
Yeah, and with this tornado warning, I mean, it's not even in the right place anymore. The center of rotation is actually to the south of the tornado warning. So with 5 minutes left on that, I'm imagining that's going to get expired pretty soon. And the big telling point for sure was them putting tornado possible in the severe thunderstorm warning tag. Basically, what they're saying with this is that, hey, we're watching for the possibility of a tornado, but it's not really worth a tornado warning anymore because normally with your tornado warning, that's when it activates sirens. My weather radio, I cannot turn off a tornado warning alarm. Like it will not allow me to turn it off. So if a tornado warning is in my county, I will be alerted no matter what. Severe thunderstorms, I can turn it off. But even with the destructive tag, severe thunderstorm warning, that is also kind of treated at the same level as a tornado warning.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll see the destructive tag trigger a lot of sirens, outdoor warning sirens. So they're using them less at that point as tornado sirens and more as outdoor warning sirens. And usually that trigger comes around baseball size hail or 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts, or both. They're pretty rare to get that destructive tag on a severe thunderstorm warning. It's like something along the lines of like less than 10% of destructive warnings are because of hail. Very, very low percentage. Most of those destructive warnings are because of high wind. But again, oftentimes you'll either get the outdoor warning sirens or you'll get a alert on your phone. It's called a WIA, It's wireless emergency alert. It's the same noise as an Amber Alert. And that loud alert basically tells you to either stay inside, don't go outside, or if you are outside, to find a shelter very quickly. If you have a flash flood emergency, you will also get that WIA on your phone. Oh, we just upgraded this.
Speaking of destructive,
thunderstorm.
The thing is like it is technically destructive, but it is only a minor bump. It was warned for tennis balls. Now it's warned for baseballs, which is only a quarter of an inch bigger. But it does. We're probably going to start getting some warnings popping in pretty soon that are going to be alerting a lot of people. As Taylor was saying, you do see that WIA popping in the wireless emergency alerts. We will be able to be seeing a lot of people getting those just south of Fort Worth and Crowley Crescent. So they did update this to where it is going to be having baseball size at this point. Hail's looking smaller now. Yeah, if you're in Aledo, you're probably going to be fine from here on out. You're still getting warned for baseball sized, but you want to look at the pinks right here. The pinks and the dark reds, those are now moving away from Aledo. So you're probably not going to be seeing the heaviest stuff anymore. It's probably going to be weakening as time goes on. And once this storm does pass you, I think you're good for the rest of the night. So really, I think the worst is probably past you. Chipper, the Idabel storm has only got really marginally severe. So hail size is only 1 inch and the winds are 60 miles an hour. 2 minutes left in that tornado warning.
I'm very curious within the next 2 minutes what they'll do. Will they expand that warrant? Will they issue a new one, or will they allow that to expire and just go with this significant or considerable destructive severe thunderstorm warning?
I'm going to open my mouth and say that I think they're going to allow it to expire, meaning within about 30 seconds, we're going to have a tornado warning issued.
That's how it's been here lately. Martin.
I'm usually a little bit better about getting in the mind of the National Weather Service, but today I'm just off it. We're seeing a general downward trend in the threats. I mean, because I'm looking at my total number of warnings categorized by each. We have 11 severe thunderstorm warnings, meaning just marginally severe, only 2 considerable and 1 destructive. Earlier is about an even split of about 10 and 10 of each. So I think we are seeing a general downward trend. And as of right now, it's mostly your hailers. Now, I think we're going to start seeing an upward tick eventually, a more considerable for wind. I think that's going to be what we'll be seeing pretty soon, is going to be that wind eventually ticking back up. Because we are under a pretty good little threat for wind across this region, if I remember right. What did they put it as a wind threat? Yeah, they have a pretty decent little wind threat, and this stretches all the way over to Alabama. So that is something we could see. And this is once the cold front really catches up to the rest of the storms. That's what we'll be watching for, is that wind.
Yeah. Speaking of, in Mississippi right now, we have a brand new hail report of ping pong ball size hail. This is to the north of Jackson, quite a ways, but we do have a brand new 2 hail reports. Actually, I don't think those are too terribly new. Camden, they came in about 30 minutes ago, and out of Vaughn area, ping pong ball size hail. So yeah, those storms out in the southeast.
Which way is it traveling? Depending on what you're asking about, generally everything's moving east. That's about what you can kind of say for most of it. Is everything's moving east, southeasterly. Give us an idea of where you're at, and we can give you an exact measurement of what you're looking for right now. They have allowed it to expire. All right. Let's wait like 15 seconds. Can we see another one?
Everyone, put it back. Are we getting another tornado warning? No. In all seriousness, it's great to see that tornado warning expire, because, obviously tornadoes is not something that we're hoping for. This is still warned for baseball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That baseball size hail most likely coming in Annetta South right now, or even south of Annetta South. and south of Aledo. This is continuing to track to the southeast near the Crescent area. Godley and Joshua will all be in the path of this hail core. Outside of the hail core is going to be some strong winds and some very heavy rain, maybe some smaller hailstones, but not as large as what we're seeing in the Annetta South and Aledo areas.
Yeah, it's still warm for baseball-sized hail and just that 60-mile-an-hour wind, which wind does do a decent amount, especially with this inflow we're seeing pull through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Granbury's probably seeing some pretty strong winds. Right around the inflow there. Yeah, we're down to only 2 being either labeled as considerable or destructive. So we've really lost a lot of this umph to these storms. 1 tornado warning, and I'm guessing that's the one over at Idabel, probably. Yep. Well, it's not an Idabel. It's in over toward just near Mena. Or is it south of Mena? It is south of Mena. This is very, very sparsely populated. This is including one town of Gillum. Southern Arkansas is very, very sparsely populated. 3 total communities impacted: Gillum, Lebanon, and Berg. And they're not even on our map. 2 of them are not even on our
wow.
map. So that just tells you. Again, there's like so many of these
very small communities over there.
I've had to drive off of the interstate on several occasions in through Arkansas, and the amount of just we have a sign that says speed limit 45. You go through it for about 30 seconds and you're back to 75 miles an hour. There's so many of them. What is it? Speed trap towns. That's what they're called. Speed trap. So 3 severe thunderstorm warnings across DFW region. One of them is a little bit more concerning than the other 2. Let's see. Let's get a bit of a refresh. 1-inch hail, 30 miles an hour, 60-mile-an-hour wind gust. 1-inch hail, 40 miles an hour, 60-mile-an-hour wind gust. And baseball-sized hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds, and 20 miles an hour. Ain't that wonderful? This goes until 7 p.m. 7 p.m. and 7 p.m. So all these warnings are set to expire at 7 p.m. Hard pressed that this one's going to be gone at 7 p.m. So I imagine we'll see that one get a new warning pretty soon.
Yeah, I bet you're right. Hey, we do have a brand new golf ball. Oh, you may have mentioned that already. Golf ball size hail report.
Golf ball sized hails west of Fort Worth. Where are you seeing that? DVD sized hails 4.5-inch hail report. I would love to see that. Well, no, I wouldn't love to see that. I want to see you prove that. That's what I want to see. West of Fort. I mean, if we're going to see a big hailstone, that's the place to be. Arlington, you are probably going to miss most, if not all, the storms. Unless we get a splitter off of this main cell right here, I think Arlington's going to miss most of it for right now, because this cell currently near Crescent is going to be moving just to the south of Arlington. Meanwhile, this one to the north is going to pass to the north. All right. I am going to try to pull us up a camera real quick. So just give me one quick moment here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. See if we can get something over toward I-35. Crowley. Is this facing northwest? That'll work. Let's get a little bit closer. Actually, this is near Wheatland. Whoo! Northeast, so that's kind of pointing a little bit the wrong direction that we want to see. Can we get one pointing west? That is also northeast. Come on, just give me something better. There we go. That's better. Let me pull this one up real quick. That is a black screen. Let me get us through this. There we go. Now we're cooking. The worst possible hail conditions happening in the dark pink areas only. Generally. That is a good rule of thumb, but what I normally like to show is what we call our correlation coefficient. So where you see a lot of these drop-offs from the general red into the more blues, greens, and yellows, that's where you start seeing that real good chance of seeing some larger hail. Well, Grand Prairie miss the hail. I've seen Grand Prairie. I've got to find out where it is. Hold on. We're actually going to talk about this new tornado warning in just a moment. I've got to find Grand Prairie first. All right. Grand Prairie is smack dab between Dallas and Fort Worth. So let's see. Grand Prairie, you're probably going to be seeing this sell eventually. Now, the main circulation is really staying off of you, so it won't be like you won't be seeing much in terms of the tornado that we're trying to watch for right now. And tornado warning as of right now, not a confirmed one. South Fort Worth getting any hail? About to. I'm actually seeing some pretty good increases in that correlation coefficient, or not our correlation coefficient, our reflectivity. So this little cluster right here is getting kind of impressive. High reflectivity, lowering correlation coefficient. There's hail there for sure. This is near Benbrook Crescent. How's Grapevine doing? I think Grapevine's further north, isn't it? Yeah, Grapevine's going to be on the other side. It's going to miss it from now on. So your friend is good. That's not anything. Yeah, that right there is impressive. Let's see if they change this up. Nope, still baseballs. But they have given this tornado warning. This is for Godley, Joshua, Cleburne, Bono, and just barely into Crescent. I think I'm not going to be able to get a picture out there. Benbrook. Let's see, I've got to find where I'm at. Crescent. There is a camera in Crescent. Oh, this is the camera that was down. Goodness, you got to be kidding me. One good camera. One good camera. Or one good camera location, and we're not even showing it. We can't show it because it's dead. Give me just one moment, guys. I'm trying to find ourselves a new camera because it looks like mine's frozen. So we're going to go up here. There we go. You're seeing some little bit rain over it on their camera we've got there near Hawkins home. That's a decent little hail core going on right there. The center of rotation is like right. You can see right here where the reds and the greens are clashing. So we know that there's not any correlation coefficient drop-off, so there's not a confirmed tornado yet. Now they can confirm it with a spotter on the ground. But the only way we can really spot it with a radar is with a CC drop showing a debris ball, basically. Move my microphone. Actually, is my mic almost dead? Oh, battery's looking good. What a champ. Been live for 2 hours. My battery's barely even dead. Yeah, so a little bit of rotation going on. This one's just near Crescent. Again, I'm kind of peeved I don't have the Crescent camera because that would be pretty nice. We have a view on that camera. We're probably gonna have to reissue a new warning because this is getting pretty close to the edge of the severe thunderstorm warning. Spoke at 25 too. Oh my goodness. It's not very fast at all. All right, well, we're seeing nothing really advancing at this point in time. We're going to be taking a look across everywhere else, and we will come back to Dallas pretty soon. A couple of severe thunderstorm warnings back in northwest Arkansas. Tornado warnings in southeast Oklahoma and southwest Arkansas. A couple of severe thunderstorm warnings across Mississippi. One in Alabama. Look at that. Look at that rogue one here. 70-mile-an-hour winds. Jeez. We are seeing a general downward trend. The thing is that we are seeing a lowering overall of the threat levels across just the entire system because we've lost a lot of. We were down to only 10 severe thunderstorm warnings. We had like 20 or something earlier. 3 tornado warnings. And 2 of those tornado warnings are kind of far from radar, so it might be maybe playing it safe getting those tornado warnings there. But overall, less warnings. Still calling for baseballs. It's not a debris ball, I don't think. No? No, I think it's a hail core. I want to say it's a hail core. So I don't think it's a confirmed tornado, but I'll be watching that closely. They have allowed that one severe thunderstorm warning up toward North Dallas to expire. So Richardson, University Park, Sunnydale, Rowlett. Yeah, that cell has really lost its luster. I'm going to take a quick little volumetric to kind of shame it a little bit. Oh, look at that. Yeah, the downdraft has really taken over for it. That is a collapsing supercell. That was our big one earlier today. How the mighty have fallen. That was when we were expecting to have some pretty big hail, unless it's this one. So now down to 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, 1 tornado warning. I might end up canceling that tornado warning pretty soon. It's pretty wimpy. Rotation's nowhere near as tight as it used to be. The couplet's pretty much, I don't want to say non-existent, but it's not exactly intense anymore. Hail still looks pretty good, though. A lot of the lowering in your correlation coefficient in the bottom left part of your screen there. The yellows and greens. That's when you start seeing bigger objects rather than just little bits of water, like rain. The really dark reds and the purples, that's where you really look at for seeing just rain. New 1-inch hail report. How's a 1 inch? That's it? Amateur radio reported 1-inch hail south of Aledo on Kelly Road, Trinity River Crossing. Huh. It got really impressive right there. That was getting concerning for me. I was thinking like this is some big hail, and then immediately started falling down. Oh, they just clipped the warning a little bit. When I say clipped, I mean they've basically said, all right, this area near Aledo no longer needs to be under the warning, so they clip part of the warning. But let's take a quick little I'm gonna any excuse to have a volume issue. This is gonna look really crappy because you can see, oh, you can't see nothing. The reason we got like a Coliseum effect going on here is because this is right on the radar. The radars are only pointed to a certain angle, so that's as high as they really go. So looks like volumetrics are not going to be an ability to do right now. But Crowley, I hate to tell you, but it's difficult to really look at Crowley on our good radar we've got here. Crowley is basically right on top of the KFWS radar. You are in the severe thunderstorm warning. You might have had your phone go off talking about a destructive storm. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to swap over to our Dallas terminal. Now, we are a little more limited. We don't have correlation coefficient with this. We only have velocity and reflectivity. It's also a little bit worse. So look at Crowley. You got some heavy rainfall, maybe some small hail in there as well. It's a little more difficult to really get an idea with this specific radar because I'm basically blind when it comes to the correlation coefficient. We're basically going back to about 1990s radar with this one. But you could be seeing some heavy rain, maybe some hail. Let us know if you're having any hail, Caleb. You are under that baseball size destructive tag, so that is the one note for concern. I'm going to swap back over to our other higher definition radar. I mean, just looking at like what's popping up, outside the radar, probably guessing you are getting some kind of hail because if you look at the correlation coefficient, you really see right around that radar. Well, it does go further away. And let us know if you're getting any hail in Crowley because it's kind of difficult to see. And in Vlone, Godley's not even doing that good. When you get close to the radar like this, it's very difficult to identify a lot of things. Been raining heavy, so no hail. Good. Your car will thank you later, or your car hood will thank you later. 4 tornado warnings now. What's going on? Oh, they're all in Southwest. Good night. Nothing confirmed. They did get a 2-inch hail report outside of Broken Bow, though. Report of a hailstone a little bit larger than golf balls sent by picture from a trained spotter in McCurtain County, Oklahoma. This is northwest of Hayworth. This is really isolatedly populated, too. Very isolated populated. Not a lot going on down there. Oh, we got a new report out of DFW. A delayed report. It is a delayed report. Holy moly, that is a delayed report. Now we're backing up. Come on, keep going back. I've got to download the frames. Oh, okay. Yeah, this was a while ago. This was a delayed report. Amateur Radio reported a baseball-sized hailstone in Millsap. This was about an hour ago. So yeah, like the storms have already moved. We back up right here. That's how far the storms have moved past an hour. So not exactly. That was an old report. But hey, baseball-sized hail report just outside of Fort Worth. There's a new one as well. This one was not too long ago. Oh, yeah, near Crescent. So 2 baseball-sized hail reports. Report from an MPing. MPing is basically public. Allows, once it gets verified through the National Weather Service, it does actually get sent out as a report. So baseball-sized hail from Crescent. Again, I wanted to see the camera. Wouldn't show up, though. They're probably going to let this warning expire. It's only marginally severe. And this storm is really barely holding on. It looked like it was holding itself together a little bit when it got warned. You can see it's a little bit more together, but not so much anymore. It's really lost a lot of luster. I can't say the same for this one because I can't tell. It's too close to the radar. That rotation is basically gone. A general broad scale rotation's there, but that's just with every supercell ever. The hail core is still there, but the really aggressive hail core, though south of Alito, is not there anymore. Yeah, we're seeing much less hail out of this. I won't be surprised if they drop this down to a considerable tag pretty soon instead of a destructive tag. But technically still warm for baseballs. It's only 6:30. Can't be yawning yet. Several severe thunderstorm warnings in Mississippi. They are technically under a tornado watch. You could see a warning or two pop out over there. A lot of tornado warnings in southwest Arkansas and southeast Oklahoma. You just missed it. 2-inch hail report. Just joining us, let us know where you're from. We'll get you those questions answered. Even if you're from, I gotta really into at least the United States. That's where my radar goes out to, is the United States. So if you're from Zimbabwe, I'm sorry, I can't really get you much. Oh wow, that's back up to considerable again there too. Hot dog. This one is one for ping pong ball sized hail in extreme southern Texas, in Pumpville. Huh. Ooh, San Antonio reached 100. Ugh. Already? That time of year already? Springdale, Arkansas. My condolences from earlier today. Dude, you saw a lot. I got a lot of friends in Springdale, and they saw a lot of those storms. Luckily, you're not seeing any more. Luckily, when it comes to those storms, you are not seeing any more today. I believe you're now in the cool sector. Yeah, winds are starting to come out of the north. So wind shift is normally what you're seeing on the other side of the cold front. You do have the storm that's over toward ozone, moving its way away from you. So this storm is not going to be affecting the NWA region anytime soon. Both Bend and Washington County pretty much clear. 3 tornado warnings. Hey, they've allowed it to expire. Nice. 65 mile an hour wind gust, though. Amateur radio reported 65 mile an hour wind gusts between Crescent and Godley. Time estimated by radar. Yeah, that was caught right in the inflow there. Yep. Is it warned for 70 now? Nope, still not warned for 70. Granted, that inflow is falling apart. Yeah, they've allowed that warning to expire. Baseball-sized hail and 65 mile an hour wind gust. Crescent must not have been a happy place to be a few minutes ago. Wonder if we're going to see any pictures out of Crescent anytime soon. Because, geez Louise. 13 total warnings across the United States. You've got a lot going on across the Gulf states, and we got a new warning actually. Not in Dallas, Fort Worth, but over toward Waldron. A lot of lightning with this. This is Waldron. This is east central or west central Arkansas, just south of I-40. little bit of a less populated area. Waldron is a decent sized city, though. Moves between to Blue Ball, Waltreek Park, Cedar Creek. How does radar pick up wind speeds? We use a thing called velocity. So upper right part of your screen here, we use velocity. Base velocity is what I usually use for winds itself, and we get an estimated wind speed. Now it's actually pretty good here because we're very close to the ground. We're only about 700 feet, so we are probably actually below the cloud base. So it gives us a really good idea of the wind speeds. Now, when you're further away from the radar, it's not so much as a good estimate. Normally, you want to have, you'll cross-reference a wind speed of a certain site, and then you will see, okay, where does that compare to our strongest wind gusts on radar? So for with us right here, Godley, we're seeing probably winds right now, 44 knots, 45 knots. That's roughly 50, 55 miles an hour. So right along that severe limit. Fastest one I'm seeing so far is 56 somewhere. I imagine it's probably in this little cluster right here. So it's probably just an anomaly. But you do sometimes use radar estimated, but the biggest thing is absolutely eyewitness, and then actual sites out there, just like a weather site, a weather station, basically. And then you'll look when the storm rolled through for that time estimation. You can usually tell when a storm goes through. It's like, okay, yeah, where a wind's going to be at right now, it's blowing pretty good in Godley. So if somebody comes in a report in like 15 minutes from now, like, okay, right around 6:42 was when the strong gusts came in. Just 2 warnings left, and both of them expire in 17 minutes. This one near La Panne, that one might end up actually falling apart and calling it a night. This one, I don't think they're going to lose the warning on it, but they're definitely going to be downgrading it pretty soon. I don't know. It's kind of pulling itself together for a small hail core near Godley. They might leave it. Good night. What is going on? What is this? They have 4 tornado warnings in one. Like, this is a crossover? No, it doesn't cross over anywhere, but it's got that one right there, which should not exist anymore. Oh, it's 1 minute, 16 seconds. Okay. But man, that is a cluster and a half of tornado warnings. Is that Little Rock? That is Little Rock, isn't it? No, it's Shreveport. I'm sorry. I will stop my Little Rock slander. Not the city, the office. I have my reasons. Down to 9 severe thunderstorm warnings and 5 tornado warnings. Oh, hey, look at that. Is that new? Yeah, it's a new 2-inch hail report. It's relatively new. It's over toward Edinburgh. This is in Mississippi. Emergency manager 3 miles west of Edinburgh reported a 2-inch hailstone. This is in Leake County, Mississippi. Ooh. Oh, man. If you guys have any questions, let us know. If you see any hail where you're at, let us know. That's a big thing, of course. Oh, they're going to have to issue a new one pretty soon. This warning is already out of it. A little bit of hail possibly already poking through the severe thunderstorm warning, so they've got to issue it soon. This one updates a little bit faster, so I'm kind of sneak peeking. They haven't done anything yet. But yeah, several reports so far just to the south of Fort Worth of baseball-sized hail. A lot of 1 to 1 3/4 inch. That's 1 3/4. Oh, that's actually a new one. Another baseball-sized report. I did say that Godley was probably not having a good time, and it looks like I was right. Train spotter reported baseball-sized hail near Godley. I buy it. That hail core went right through. Ah, there it is. Finally, new warning. 4-inch hail. Excuse me? Softball-sized hail? Where did this come from? I mean, it's got a good hail core on it. Don't get me wrong, but 4-inch hail? Whew. They got to have a report coming through the tube or something. I mean, look, it's a good hail core near Godley and Joshua, but we've only had a baseball size report. Wow. So 4-inch hail, 4-inch. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. Going to go for the next 43 minutes. It's going to end at 7:30. Located over Godley, moving southeast at 30 miles an hour. 4-inch hail is what it's warned for. Wowzers. Wind gusts of 60 miles an hour. It includes Interstate 35 west between mile markers 14 and 37. Let's see if we can see a peek. Will it let us? Let's see. Joshua. Let's see if I can find something. This is pointed northeast. Wrong direction, man. It's over at Cleburne. Oh. That's why they warned it for 4 inches. Okay. That I did call it. I technically called it. I'm not saying that I did, but I kind of did. This is pointed the real wrong direction, too. This is pointed southeast and east. Yeah, that one's not good either. Let's see, is this pointing west? Hey, this is pointing west. Nice. Oh, it's shaking too. Woo! Wow. Softball-sized hail. East, southeast of Godley. I have to put this in. I have to let all the other meteorologists at Hail Trace know about that. That is wild. I mean, I buy it. Like it had some very, very impressive reflectivities nearby. Like you see those pinks right there, and then reflectivity drop offs are massive too. So I totally buy that. And I was curious, like, why 4-inch hail? That's humongous compared to what the hail reports we were getting before. And all of a sudden, there it is. I think that's the largest hail report of the day, too. Let me actually take a look real quick. I'm going to look at the Storm Prediction Center real quick and see if that was the largest hail report of the day. Something change? Yeah, a severe thunderstorm warning to just the south of Fort Worth. This is for marginally severe. So let's take a look at our Storm Prediction Center hail reports. 3-inch, 2-inch. We're looking for these numbers over here. 3-inch, 4-inch in Lawrence and Aurora, Missouri. 4-inch in Willard, Missouri. 4-inch in Glidewell, Missouri. Man, Missouri had a lot of 4-inch hail reports today. That's probably just outside of Springfield. Springfield got rocked today. 3-inch report over at Vaughn, Mississippi. Yeah, the actual 4.5-inch report hasn't even hit website yet. So that's how fresh it is. This is a old one right here. It's going to be expiring pretty soon. Yeah, Crowley. Once again, it's just near the radar, so it's difficult to really tell. If they allow this one to expire, just south of Fort Worth, probably going to hop off here because this is kind of moved out of the DFW metro. Even though, good night. I'm going to stay on for at least while this moves through Cleburne because we have a camera just outside of Cleburne, so like we could actually probably get a pretty decent little. Oh yeah, let's take a look at this real quick. That is mean. We'll stay on for at least to watch this, at least to pique our own curiosity, because we're watching some pretty intense storms trying to roll through right now. You see the wind blowing pretty quickly. So let's actually move into Cleburne. This is technically pointed eastward. Oh, man. Come on. Come on, pull it up for me. What is it with these cameras and falling off immediately? Whatever. We'll pull this one up. This was the one we were looking at before. It seems like as soon as we have a storm that we want to see, just immediately gone. Another 3-inch hail report as well. Enjoy dinner, Chipper. 3-inch hail report followed by immediately that 4.5-inch hail report as well. This thing is spinning up too. Oh yeah. Wouldn't be surprised if we get a tornado warning pretty soon out of it. This is heading toward Rio Vista. Covington, Hillsboro is downstream of this as well. Very high reflectivities with this one near Cleburne and Keene. All right, give me just 1 second. I'm going to attempt to get something set up so we can get a better view of this camera. So bear with me just 1 second. Oh, it still looks like crud. Oh, it looks bad either way. Oh, that's pleasant. All right, we'll just make do. Saw some lightning out of that one. Whoo! Yeah, we got a tornado warning on this one as well. Not surprised. Had some pretty tight rotation going in on it. You can see that really good. This is just around Cleveland. We're probably going to start seeing some intense hail very soon in Cleburne. Let's see if I have the ability to pull up this camera. Come on. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this is right inside Cleburne. Oh, man, look at that camera shaking. Wow. Oh, yeah, we're seeing hail in this. Look at that. You can see the hail. Wow. Yeah, this is right in the middle of the hail core. So there's not a tornado on the ground at this point in time, but we are watching that hail. Wow. Well, did we just lose the camera? Uh-oh. We just lost the camera. Oh, nope. We're back. Don't die on me now. There we go. What's up in DFW? So you're actually doing good. If you're in DFW, the only place you're really looking at for any kind of concern for DFW is just south of Fort Worth. So let's actually pull up the one panel here. So looking at Fort Worth right around here, the lower right part of your screen there, that is Fort Worth. There's a cell that's moving over Fort Worth, the southern portion of Fort Worth, but it's only marginally severe, so it's not exactly a huge thing going on. If you're in Dallas, you're good. You honestly, if you want to see the hail, sorry, I don't think you're gonna be seeing any for today unless we get something reforming. The only thing really of note is actually in much further south of DFW, but also heading away from DFW as well. So far, oh yeah, look at that camera shaking. Hail, wind, and the possibility of a tornado. All three severe weather threats are in this cell. It's spinning up pretty good as well. So let's take a look at the radar one quick time before we go back to the camera. Again, you see that little hook echo right here. That is what we're looking at for the center of rotation for that tornado. Good gate to gate right along this region here. This is where we're seeing the reds and the greens really clashing up. If we pull in our correlation coefficient, there is a small drop off in our correlation coefficient, but it does not necessarily mean we do have a tornado. We'll probably have to wait one more frame just to see if there is a drop off in the correlation coefficient. Wind's still blowing. I can see a little bit of hail on this camera here outside of Cleburne. Cleburne is getting it, though, unfortunately. If you're watching out of Cleburne, I apologize. Where's this possible tornado? It is heading in toward Rio Vista. So Rio Vista, this is much further south of DFW. So zooming out right here, Fort Worth right up here in this section. I'll actually just put it back down to one panel real quick. So Fort Worth, Dallas, Fort Worth region up here. And this is much further south of Fort Worth. And this is also continuing to move south. So if you're in DFW proper, you are not going to see this cell. This is kind of the only thing of concern right now. I'm imagining it's got 1 minute, 31 seconds left on this Fort Worth cell right here, on this Fort Worth storm. And I imagine that's going to expire as well. Let's move over real quick to the Dallas terminal so we can get a good view. They might try to rewarn it, but it's going to be moving, again, out of Dallas, Fort Worth. That's the wrong radar. It looks like garbage. There we go. Much better. But yeah, this has already produced quite a bit of hail so far. This has given us a 4.5-inch hail report, 2 3-inch hail reports, and a 2.75-inch hail report, which is about baseball sized. This is over at Cleburne, about 45 minutes south of Fort Worth. Ooh, still good lightning, good wind there. Cars still driving on the road, but they're going pretty slow. It's actually south of Joshua. It's probably about an hour. Honestly, it's probably about as far as Grandview is. Oh, yeah. It's a good cell there. Still tornado warned. How big is the hail in Cleburne? Reports we've had so far are up to 3-inch. Well, the storm is warned for 4-inch hail. So could be up to 4 inches. That center of rotation is nasty, though. Look at that. It is a little broad for if it's going to try to put down an active tornado. Hail, Cleburne, Texas. Are you in Cleburne, Michael? Let us know what you're seeing, but make sure above all else, be safe, because that hail is definitely dangerous right now if it is falling currently in Cleburne. It's banging in Cleburne, 3-inch hail. Absolutely, I could buy it. I absolutely could buy it. Actually, I do buy it because we've had reports of 3-inch hail already in Cleburne. Yeah, guys, make sure if you're in Cleburne, be safe. The tornado, if there is one, is not going to get toward Cleburne proper, but the concern is hail. That's going to be the big one. We've already had reports of over baseball-sized hail out of this storm. We've got a very prominent hail core over Cleburne and Keene, almost at Alvarado, but not quite. The rotation couplet is looking pretty tight, but it's flat for right now. You can see it's very flat. We usually want to see a pinpoint red and green touching, which the red and green is touching just like 1 pixel, boom. To the really big raindrops or good-sized hail. Kind of hard to tell. I'm trying to see exactly what it is. So still tornado warned. So we've got pictures so far. Got a couple pictures from some of our meteorologists over at Hail Trace. They're saying easily 3-inch hail in Cleburne right now. Crescent. Wait, it's Crescent. That was earlier. Yeah, so Crescent was up here. So this is the same cell that's actually producing. You can see the path of – you actually see the path that this storm took with just the hail reports. Baseball, 3-inch. There's that over softball-sized hail. Baseball, 3-inch. So this thing just carved a path with several of these reports from Crescent to Godley down to Cleburne. Crazy hail at Cleburne, Texas. Stay safe, guys. Biggest thing of all, stay safe. But if you can verify about what size hail it is, let me know. But above all, do it safely. If you can wait, I would wait. Isolated are all over. Oh, no, we're back now. Wait, are we? Maybe? My internet likes to be funky. Looks like we're good. We're looking at isolated or all over. It's tough. Let me see what Hail Trace meteorologist is saying real quick. Or a mapping meteorologist. I'm a Hail Trace meteorologist. I'm not a mapping meteorologist, though. See if they are saying isolated or not. They are saying not isolated. So they're saying pretty much all over Cleburne, Texas is what they're saying. This is being updated to the moment. And so far, they are saying it is not widespread. It is very much widespread. So I would probably be expecting some pretty decent hail across all of Cleburne. Because you can look here, the lowering of the correlation coefficient, this big blob of like, ignore the blue here. This is clear air that we're looking at, so there's nothing to actually pick up. But this area of the yellow, green, and blue kind of intermingled with all of it, that right there is all of the hail, and it kind of just went over all of Cleburne. So I'm imagining there's probably some pretty widespread hail in Cleburne, Texas, if I had to guess. Train spotter reported a 4.5 inch. Yep. Good rotation. Good couplet, though. Wow. It's a huge couplet, but it's got a tight, it's starting to get a gate to gate going. Oh, wait. That's a CC drop. This might be turning on the ground now. Maybe. I'll have to see. Possible. Mineral wells. I'm trying to go backwards a little bit because apparently we have reports of damage in mineral wells. Pretty significant damage, actually. Nashville. I see you there, Caleb. Jeez Louise. Godley got some pretty decent hail as well. Well, that's not surprising. We had reports of it baseball sized. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at Nashville real quick. We can tear away from DFW for a short bit. Nashville, you're on a severe thunderstorm watch. You're still getting the southerly wind, so you probably still will see some development. Right now, it's just a little bit of rain, which probably will hurt your severe chances if I had to, just throw a spitball estimate there. But you are still in that severe thunderstorm watch. This watch goes until 1 a.m. Scattered damaging wind gust of 70 miles an hour. Scatter large hail to 1.5 inches in diameter, and a tornado or two is possible. So I'd keep on the watch out, but this rain right here is probably going to be dampening those severe chances a smidge. Ooh, there we go. It's still for 4 inch. No, they're on the baseballs now. The hail core has kind of fallen down a smidge as well. So let's see. Do we have any cameras further south? Grandview. This is over at Grandview, Texas, a little bit further south. Probably going to start seeing some rain pretty soon. We'll see if we can get ahead of it a little bit and see if we can. Woo, that's nasty. That's a nasty looking one. Let's go back to this one. There we go. Got about another baseball size report over at Cleburne, Texas. So we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that is extending southward past Grandview and into Hillsboro. Camera you're looking at is over at just north of Hillsboro as well. So they have bumped down technically this severe thunderstorm warning, this new one that is going to be continuing off of the first one we were watching that was warned for 4-inch hail. So currently being warned for baseball-sized hail and 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts. That's the destructive tag. The reason why it's got that double yellow line is for destructive for the baseball-sized hail. Now the winds are still pretty strong at 70 miles an hour. That would alone give it a considerable tag. But it's got the destructive tag for the very large hail. Asking about Broken Bow, Oklahoma. You were getting it a lot earlier, but you're in the clear now. Let's see. Winds. Winds are starting to tilt out of the north in Broken Bow, so you're probably out of the severe threat from now on. A lot of action in Arkansas, though. You're probably about to get kicked out of the tornado watch, honestly, if I had to guess. They've really been proactive lately about kicking out the tornado watch. All of Tulsa. So LaFleur County, which is just to your north, they're under Tulsa. You're underneath Shreveport. So it may be a little bit longer before that watch is actually canceled for you. Technically goes until 1 a.m. I really doubt that it stays that way, though. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if within the next hour or so, you'll probably end up, you'll probably end up getting that watch canceled, and then you're done. I mean, realistically, you're done with severe weather in Broken Bow. Let us know where you're watching from. We'll try to get you a personalized forecast. They've reissued the tornado warning over toward Rio Vista. This makes its way almost to Hillsboro. It does include Itasca, which we do have a camera over right now. Let's show you that one real quick. Let me see. If I do this in a larger screen, will it look better? No, it does not look much better at all. This is the highest quality that the state of Texas can get us. Incredible. This is just off of I-35 West. Looks like mile marker around 66 in Itasca. Ooh, the lightning strike, I'm pretty sure. This is near Rio Vista, is where that center of rotation's at. I'm going to zoom in pretty closely for you. So center of rotation just to the east of Rio Vista. New tornado warning. This is going to go until 8 o'clock, about 45 minutes from now. Capable of producing tornadoes located near Rio Vista, 8 miles south of Cleburne. Moving southeast at 25 miles an hour, tornado and baseball-sized hail. Radar indicated rotation, so luckily nothing confirmed as of this point in time. Three-inch, 4.5-inch. It has been a rough time with this system. only other one considerable storm as of right now. So we are, again, with the exception of this one cell, we're seeing an overall downward trend. So we've only got, it's very messy. Like the overall, just everything going on is very messy. So you can just see, like, we've got, severe thunderstorm warning in north central, a couple tornado warnings in outside of Little Rock, but still in central Arkansas, southern Arkansas. Got that one organized cell that is kind of holding itself together pretty well. And then you've got two considerable severe thunderstorm warnings toward Mississippi. And even some in Alabama. Look at that. Made its way all the way over there. Gulf states haven't seen much. Although this cell has dropped two-inch hailstone reports over Edinburgh and Pearl River. That is an impressive storm nonetheless. I'm about to break my desk. What about to Dallas, though? Let us know where you're watching from. It absolutely gets you forecast for what you need to know. We're getting reports of pretty large hail, or videos of pretty large hail over in Godley, Texas, just bouncing. A lot of big hailstones, ranging from about almost baseballs to a little bit smaller. Haven't bumped it back up again. Still some good rotation. Not as impressive as before, but rotation nonetheless. Yeah, this storm has luckily made its way out of the DFW area. That is the good thing. We were thinking this was going to cause a lot bigger problem for the DFW region. Now it's just a little more disorganized everything. Not really a whole lot. Other than the DFW storm, there are a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings that are issued out there. Actually, we got a new report out in southern Mississippi. What is that report saying? Tree on a home. That's not good. So over in North Russell, Russell Topton. Got Maypearl, Grandview, Covington, Blum, Itasca, Carl's Corner, Hillsboro, Whitney, Milford. All of you in the path of that storm. I'm getting way too tired for being only 7:30. So far today, we have had 183 hail reports, 60 of them being large hail reports. Normally, it's like a 1 to 10 ratio of large hail reports to your regular hail reports. Today, we're on about a 1 to 3 ratio. That is madness. Wow. "7:02 p.m. National Weather Service was talking about this cell specifically, saying intense supercell storm producing very large hail and damaging winds will continue. So they are expecting this cell to continue to move itself south. So it's probably not going to be. My screen go black? Hopefully not. Over the next couple of minutes and hours, we're probably going to see the cell continuing to move through. Heading toward Waco, Texas, though it might miss. Well, there is some development in the back here. That is an old cell trying to maintain itself. I'll take a volumetric scan, I guess. Any excuse to take a volumetric scan, I'll take it. Not super impressive. It's up to only like 40,000, 35,000, 40,000 feet. So it's kind of up there. It's trying. It is at least trying. There is an effort. Or there was an effort. It looks like it is kind of falling apart. Like I said, it's trying. It's not succeeding. It's doing its best. Tornado warning still going on with the cell. Destructive tagged as well for baseball-sized hail. This one's heading in toward Rio Vista. Got a camera here. This is a pretty good little view. This is over at Acosta. I wish it was better than, I'm guessing, is like, what, 144p? Probably see a whole dragon fly over this thing and not notice it. But it's what we got. Even at full screen, it still looks terrible. I was hoping we can get some kind of better view. But that as well. And we got about softball-sized hail as well over at Godley, Texas. I'm just getting pictures from our mapping meteorologist over with Hail Trace, and they've got several pictures about baseball the size of palm of your hand. So, well, not the palm of your hand, but like extended. So probably about, it's pretty large hail. Excuse me. Is it moving east now? Oh, it's trying. See the last couple of frames here. Last couple of frames, look, it's trying to take a minute of an eastwardly turn, so it might end up missing Hillsboro. Rio Vista just got passed over by that thing. Luckily, didn't drop. It didn't look like it had any tornado in it, so that is the good thing there. It had what could have been described as a debris signature for a short second before it got into Rio Vista, but I wouldn't say so. They've cut off the tornado warning. Give it a little off the top, basically. So it's been canceled for South Central Johnson County, still in effect for Northwestern Hill County. 725, thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Covington, 13 miles southeast of Cleburne, which just got hit by a lot of that hail and some strong winds, too. Tornado and baseball-sized hail. Still warned for baseballs. Wow. I mean, reflectivity makes sense, especially near Grandview. Man, Grandview's probably getting it. Yeah, you can see. So what I'm looking at specifically for the hailers is you want to see high reflectivities, meaning like the pinks and the purples, and sometimes reds if you can get away with it. And then the lower of the correlation coefficient. So these kind of match up. Like if I move this around here, it'll move down here. So Grandview is right in this pink. Meanwhile, it's got this drop off. You see the green mixed in with the blue. It's very low, what we call correlation coefficients. Now, higher the correlation coefficient, the smaller the objects are. And really, you can see all across here, Maypearl, Forston, Bardwell, Waxahachie, Midlothian, you're all getting rain. And then all you're getting is rain. Now you go to Grandview. That's where you're looking at mainly seeing some of those hailers. Definitely possibility of some large hail going on in there. I mean, this storm is warned for baseball-sized hail, so I'm not surprised if we see some more baseball-sized hail. Technically, the old warning is actually up for 4-inch hail, but I don't know if we're getting 4-inch hail anymore. Got a pretty good view going on. I'm going to pull up that camera again because honestly, we're looking at a pretty nice view of this cell moving through. Actually, I'm kind of any visual on where this tornado is heading in Texas. So, Luke, there's not exactly a tornado currently. There is no active tornado, but if there is, the center of rotation basically is coming through Covington and then essentially going down towards Hillsborough. So it's kind of running parallel to 35 West. That's the best way you can really think about it. It's running parallel to 35 West. 35 West is probably, it's just, this thing is just rolling down 35 West with a hail core. That's the big thing that I'm kind of worried about is really the hail cores. Because the thing hasn't dropped a tornado in a while. We did have a confirmed tornado from this cell not too long ago. You can actually start seeing either some rain or some hail. Actually, I'm willing to bet it's hail because you can see right here, those other cars, they're starting to stall. Looks like something happened down the roads there. So I'm willing to bet that is hail. Oh, yeah, look at that. Wow. Oh, yeah, you can actually briefly on the roads, you can actually see a little bit of those hailstones bouncing off the roads there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're getting hail. Wow. I mean, it's pretty terrible video. Like the quality of it is awful. Oh, you can see that piling on the roads now. Look at that. Oh yeah, people on the roads are not happy. Yes, this is over at Itoxka. Oh my gosh, you can see it piling on the roads. Wow. Oh, that 18 really better slow it down. Because you get to the point, you get to a certain point with a lot of these storms, it actually can start accumulating like snow on the roads. The wind gust just came in. Oh man, that car's not having a good time either. Nobody's having a good time on 35 West. That is incredible. Never seen a storm move through a hail core. Actively watching a hail core moving over a major interstate. Can't say I've seen that before on live yet, but here we are anyways. Looks like some kind of stalling is going on over there. You see a lot of those vehicles are immediately getting off the roads, or they're just now getting into the hail core and they're just like, I am not driving through this, which fair. Whew, not a fan of this. Wowzers. Still tornado warned. No confirmed tornado though. Still no confirmed tornado. Oh yeah, a lot of people. Is this going to keep moving east? It's mostly moving south at this point. Like it's trying to move east. It was trying, but as of right now, the latest couple of frames, it's been really just moving south. That rotation that rotation just collapsed in on itself. Bye-bye possibility of tornado, at least for the time being. Thing just went. I'm going to pull this right here just so you show. Woof, there goes. There goes the hook. Still more hail on the roads. You could see it's very difficult to see because the camera's so, really kind of crummy, but you could just see around this area right here. A lot of that road. Yeah, there's that hail. That's baseball-sized hail. Wow. I wonder if I can actually, hold on. Let me see if I can try to pull something with this. There we go. You can better see the. I'm actually going to move this over as well. There we go. Yeah. Look at that right there. Hail-covered roads. If your Amazon delivery gets delayed, that's going to be the reason. This is I-35 West, around mile marker 66 near Ikoska. Plenty of hail on those roads. Look at that. Roofer in the Carolinas mean a lot of work. Bit of a ways away. No, I don't think it's going to move that far east. I thought you were meaning like a few miles east. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be seeing much in terms of the Carolinas. Actually, we might see. Okay, all right. When I say you might see, I mean it's a very low chance of seeing some of that severe possibility. So this is your threat risk for tomorrow. Carolinas are in that marginal risk. The unfortunate side, it's only a 1 out of 5. Today was a 4 out of 5. Hail risk is also right along the Carolinas. So North Carolina seeing it, South Carolina, not so much. So to answer your question, Technically, yes, but probably not. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. But as a meteorologist, it always seems like I am that. Let's pull this back up again. You're still seeing some hail. You're seeing some of the breakups right there. Yeah. Wow. I am surprised we are still seeing that. It's been going on for like 3 to 5 minutes at this point. I apologize that it's so awful when it comes to the quality. But man, I cannot say that I have actually caught a hail core moving into a major interstate on live anything, I guess. I was about to say live TV, but we ain't on TV. The same on your TV, then cool. Oh, wow. Feel bad for those people. Wow. Yeah, it looks like the rotation's really fallen in on itself. I think they're probably going to end up canceling this pretty soon. The tornado warning, at least, not the severe thunderstorm warning. Look at all that hail on the roads. I figured this was going to end up becoming a problem, especially on the roads, especially if we had, baseball-sized hail. Because normally when you get over tennis balls, or really you get past hen egg, you're probably looking at already cracking windshields, especially when you're moving, 60, 70, 80 miles an hour on these interstates. You get into a hailstone, that's going to crack your windshield. We had several reports of actually people getting holes punched in their cars. This is over at Springfield earlier yet today. Granted, this was, I think they had 3.5 inches. So softballs. But it's not just one hailstone did that. You can see multiple hailstones hit that windshield right there. So not exactly a fun time, that's for sure. But neither is this. A lot of people, it looks like what people are doing is they're taking cover under, because like you can see people stopping right here. So I'm imagining these people are all underneath the overpass, which on a major interstate, like guys, don't do this. Like it's just not a good idea, especially on a major interstate. Like you're stopping on an interstate. Don't do this. Even if it's on the side of the road, there's still people going to be, also trying to get out of it. And with, the hailstones on the road, think of those like marbles on the roads. If you're going to stop while you're in a car, you're not going to stop immediately. It's a lot like ice. And it's still hailing. I think it's over, and then I just see another hailstone explode on the roads. Wow. Woo, big lightning. It's trying to respin back up again. It's trying to. We're down to 8 severe thunderstorm warnings across the nation, 2 tornado warnings. No active tornadoes at this time. Oh, sorry. Well, I want to listen to it silently, please. We've got a video over at Cleburne, Texas. Tons of large hail. That is incredible. Getting darker clouds too. think the hail's finally starting to come to an end. Yeah, cars finally moving through the overpass. I'm guessing the hail's finally at an end. All righty, back to the radar we go. See if we can find us another one a little further south. This one is over in Hillsboro. This camera we got here, Hillsboro, sorry. Carl's Corner. Let's see if we can get one over Carl's Corner, because that one is, where is this one? Oh, that looks nasty. I-35. So this is I-35 East, technically. Maybe it's I-30. Yeah, it's I-35 East, but this is basically where I-35 East and West combine back into I-35. Kind of adjusting this. Bear with me. Thank you. We're now up to 9 Super Thunderstorm warnings now. Oh, they added a new one. This one's heading over toward Cleburne. Oh, no, not again. Not Cleburne again. That would be awful. Okay, it's not going to Cleburne. Thank goodness. Okay, I was about to say, like, if it's going to hit Cleburne again, this is the worst possible day for Cleburne in years. Heading toward Blum, Covington. This is going to try to absorb into the main supercell here, though. But we're going to be watching Carl's Corner. It's probably the place that's going to be seeing the next hailstones. Once we start getting to the point where Carl's Corner is actually going to start seeing the hail, we're going to swap back over to the camera real quick. That cough hurt. Ow. Need to drink some more water. Sorry about that. Just having to update a few things. Back to the radar. Trying to spin back up again. Quick vish on Nashville. Drifting through Kentucky and Nashville right now. Your thing. So going there from Kentucky to Nashville, a little bit of rain, but really not much of anything. Could see a couple heavier showers, especially as you go across the state line. Couple claps of lightning near Franklin. Actually, one right over. I believe that's Interstate something. But a couple occasional lightning bolts. These lightning bolts are only like once a minute, and these other ones are less than a minute. So, couple claps of lightning, but not a lot, not a ton. But you're in the severe thunderstorm watch, so you're not exactly out of the clear either. So the rain is really going to hurt you, though. That's the thing. Your dew points are very high, but your temperatures are not. Your temperature is only in the low 70s. So it's like, it's going to be tough. But I think you might have a storm or two, but beyond that, it's going to be really hard for you to get really anything going. We're going to probably wait until this gets over to Carl's Corner. This is moving its way in there pretty effectively. You can see a lot of that mean-looking clouds. This is pointed north. Nice. Perfect. That's exactly what we're going to see. Oh, wow. That was incredible. Lightning strike directly on the ground. Hold on, I don't want that. Hold on. There we go. Give me 1 second. I want to move myself up. Actually, I want to move over here. Yeah. That way we're going to be out of the roads. Wow. Good lightning strikes going on over there. Is that GR2 analyst? How did you know? How did you know? It is GR2 analyst, actually. That's what all of our meteorologists used. Man, that lightning's awesome. I think it's red lightning. If I remember right, I think red lightning is actually hail is in it, I think. I'm trying to remember. Hail colors, lightning colors apparently do matter. I forget what it was. I remember reading it in a book when I was like 9. And I remember one of them is like hail is in the clouds. So I forget which which color of lightning it is that indicates that hail is there. So we're going to be watching this camera pretty closely because I'm imagining we're going to see some pretty crazy stuff going on the next couple of minutes. Lightning strikes. It's pointed straight north, so we might actually be able to get a glimpse of the rotation as well. Really quickly, I want to see if this does look any better. Wide viewed. No, not really. Doesn't look much better if I try to full screen it, so guess we're stuck with, again, 144p. We got those cameras from 2006. More lightning. I mean, the thing is like the lightning is, not just something cool to look at, but we actually can tell with more lightning in a storm, you actually do see more hail. It's not just like oh yeah, lightning. Ooh, that's really cool. But how you get lightning is by that. Well, we call it hydrometeors. Now, that sounds like a really cool name, but it's really just stuff that floats in the clouds. So you have these hydrometeors, whether they be little ice crystals very high up in the atmosphere or water vapor below the freezing line. As they rub into each other, they actually cause a charge. Think of it as like a sock onto the carpet. You rub that onto there pretty frequently. I'm actually getting into it, Anthony. they rub into each other, and it causes basically that same spark you get with your sock on a carpet, but times 1 million. You're getting 1 million volts out of these lightning bolts. Now, the reason why there's a correlation direct with lightning and hail is the more hydrometeors you have up in the air, the better chance of having hail. So there is that direct correlation of where the lightning originates. Oh, we just got the gust front. Oh, yeah, that gust front just came in. Unfortunately, we're a little bit further away from the ground on this one. I don't know if we will actually see the hail hitting the ground like we did last time. So let's see if we can go into this one. Or this one. That looks awful. This is over at Hillsboro. This is pointing southwest. So I think once it starts hailing in this camera right here, we're going to swap over to the other one. Ooh, that gust front is going mad. Still a tornado warning on this, but it is nearing the end. Oh, wow. A lot of lightning, a lot of wind. So a tornado warning is nearing the end of its lifespan. It's got 7 minutes left on it. And the center of rotation. I just got to stop talking. They just issued a new tornado warning. That's why I'm laughing. New tornado warning. Still a warning for baseball-sized hail. Moving southeast at 25 miles an hour. It's going to be a meme at this point for me, where I'm just like, oh, I'm going to talk about something, and problem solves itself. Like, oh, when are they going to do this? Nope, not going to do it. A little bit of rain on this here. Wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some hail. Well, there's a little over at Carl's Corner. There is a little thing of rain trying to move through, so that might be what we're actually looking at. Wind is blowing hard, though. Wind's blowing real hard. This is warned for some pretty strong winds, too, 60 miles an hour, so it's not insignificant winds. Big lightning. See if we see anything going on down here. Looks pretty awful. I mean, we don't have any better cameras here? Looks terrible. I mean, I'm glad we have them, but like, it's 2026. You can't have anything better than like 140p. Move this over real quick. Actually, I'll move me over here, move that over there. There we go. Got two little cells now. One's over here to your left. It's got also a little hook echo on it. Currently warned for tennis ball sized hail. And then our other one is still warned for baseball sized hail. So a little bit bigger hail than our new system. So over at Hillsboro, we're going to go back to Carl's Corner. This is the one that was giving us some pretty good looking. It's over on I-35 near mile marker 934. Calling it for 65-mile-an-hour winds now, so it's bumping up the winds a bit. Oh, looks like we lost that one. Just stop going to 90%. There we go. Not seeing much. Well, it's about 8 o'clock, guys. It's made its way pretty far out of DFW. If it gets toward Waco, I'm not sure to go live again, but at this rate, it's going to be passing to the west of or to the east of Waco. So I'm going to hop off here. Me and Taylor's going to be live tomorrow at noon. So if you want to catch us then, we will be live at noon. It's on all Hail Trace platforms. We'll be live here on YouTube. If you're watching from Twitter, LinkedIn, we are going to be here as well. We're expecting an overall downward trend severe weather tomorrow. It is expected to move eastward into the Gulf states and into the Atlantic basin as well. So we will be seeing those storms moving into areas that haven't really seen a lot of storms this year. But they're not expected to be super intense. So don't expect what we saw today with 4.5-inch hail reports over in the Carolinas. Sorry about that. But we are going to be live. We're going to be talking more about that. Probably a big wrap up as well. So if you miss what we saw today or any other day of the week, we'll probably be wrapping up those as well. So catch us live on noon tomorrow. We're kind of just wrapping up the rest of these storms. If anything does get into a major area, I will definitely hop on for you guys. But for right now, this will be goodbye. Hope you guys have a good rest of your Tuesday. We'll see you guys tomorrow.